All right, good afternoon, everybody. We are coming to you live from Garden Center Lanes in Alexandria, Minnesota for this month's CBA tournament. This is the second leg of the Locker Guy Bowler of the Decades tournament. I haven't read that yet. Jason, our crack staff with Jason Hanson and his wife Stacy, the tournament director, came and gave me some update scores here. So I just mentioned this is our second leg of the Locker Guy Bowler of the Decades. And what we do, we still bowl 8 games of qualifying. All of our tournaments are 8 games of qualifying. We took the top 12 into our, it's a different sort of eliminator match play that we use for these Locker Guy Bowler of the Decades tournaments. So what we did here, to bowl in 2-game matches, 1 against 12, 2 against 11, so on.
Yep.
2-game total pins. We cut down to those 6 bowlers, and then what do they do, Jason?
9 and then 10. Yep. So from here, the 6 losers, or as you like to say, how do you refer to them? Non-winners.
The non-winners who didn't win their matches.
Yeah. So the 6 losers will be out, and they will be finishing 7th through 12th. See you later. Have a good day. They will be finishing in 7th through 12th place based on their overall average for the day.
Correct. All 10 games.
Yeah, so not just the qualifying bid or not just where they finish in the 2-game match that they've got here, but basically their 10 games of 8 of qualifying and 2-game match. So then top 6 will advance, or those 6 winners advance. They will bowl 1 game, and the 6th person lowest score is eliminated, and I should say put into the 6th spot.
And the other 5 are
into the step ladder.
Score.
Yep, based on their score in that 1 game. Yep.
All right, so we're watching right here. We're watching Chad Nelson against Brady Gustafson. Chad was a number 5 seed. Brady was an 8 seed, so they're bowling their 2-game match only in the 3rd frame. As far as the qualifying, Josh Kennedy led qualifying at plus 140, followed by Alexandria's own Matt Meyer at plus 134, Dave Ullman at 106, Brandon Hanson at plus 62, Chad Nelson plus 51. Your CBA president, Matt Paine, and just recently inducted into the CBA Hall of Fame. That'd be Matt Paine at plus 19. Thomas Cleveland making another cut at plus 6. Brady Gustafson is 8th here. He's minus 6. As you saw him throw that really solid strike right there. Michael Neibauer making his first cut. I'm not sure if this is his first tournament or not, but he's 66 under. He was 9th. Jason Cragen, minus 68, is 10th. Anthony Stewart, minus 72, is 11th. And Nick Solar at minus 84 rounded out the top 12, and he was 101 under after 2 games. And he came back pretty strong to get up to the top 12.
Yep, for sure. That is Michael Neibauer's first CBA.
Yeah,
so
okay.
Making first CBA, making a cut in the first one.
There was one senior catcher in Dale Bessie. Is that how you pronounce that?
Yeah, I did forget to announce that. Yeah,
at minus 117, and I know he's only bowled a couple of them. So
yep, he was pretty new as well. So
and Jim Winter, who was right behind him by like 9 pins, who's been bowling pretty good lately. He bowls every tournament there is that
he does. Yes,
he's gotten quite a bit better over the last couple of years. So, Jason, I wasn't here last month when you had the doubles tournament.
Yeah.
And I missed Matt Payne's Hall of Fame induction, but you did tape the speech, and I did watch it.
Yeah.
And I watched the doubles stepladder from afar. I was in Prague,
yes,
Czech Republic, watching it, but good tournament.
Yeah, it was, a decent turnout, and just overall, it all went well. It was a very good event. Repeat champions, so that's been the theme as of late.
Seems to be.
We've had Heilman and Mills that won 4 years straight, and then now Vermillier and Burr have won 2 years straight. So,
and if I remember correctly, they barely squeaked into the top 5.
They did.
And then they ran the
ladder.
ladder.
Yep.
So.
Yep, that they did. So, no, that was a very good tournament. Hall of Fame banquet was probably only half as long as normal because we didn't have somebody to embellish or expand on anything too much. So we missed you. We missed you at the banquet.
Elaborating is my
Elaborating.
theme,
There we go.
because there's things being involved in this CBA since 1984, and I do the history of all the stuff, so it's always fresh on my mind, especially at the banquet time because I have just done all the updated stats and champions and so forth. So I tried to give you all that stuff before I left, but it was all on paper instead of in your mind.
Yeah, that's just it. I'd be digging for quite some time to find most of those stats that you just kind of have at the top of your head.
So I was asked today when I walked into Garden Center Lanes here in Alexandria, I mentioned that at the beginning, that's where we are, and I talked to Charlie Meyer and Sue Brady also, and of course Chad Meyer also, the proprietors here. Charlie asked me how many we had at this bowling center, because we always bowled every year at the old bowling center, downtown, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And this place opened in 2006, and we had the first CBA tournament here, won by Matt Meyer. And then in 2007, we came back here. Clayton Moore won that one. In 2008, Dan Bach won that one. So those are the three tournaments. We haven't been back here for a CBA since 2008.
It has been that long.
It's been a long time. I had to look that up.
So you ran that one last time it was here then?
Correct.
Yeah.
2008.
Yep. I bowled it.
So Charlie asked me, and I walked in also, he said, so how long did you run this? And I go, well, the same length as John Dorick, 21 years. So, Jason, you got about, 9 more years to go?
Something like that,
to get up to the 21, and then you got to hand pick a successor if that happens. But we hope you don't stop.
You need to find somebody younger than me by a chunk so they can last like 31 years.
Exactly. So, Matt Paine is bowling, because he made the cut like normal. But I know last month, before the doubles, we come up with the painful questions.
There were many painful questions, that some kind of tongue-in-cheek ones that were brought up on the website or on Facebook, and then, some that were some serious questions for sure.
Well, he did answer 3 of them, if I'm correct on that, and being that I wasn't there last month, I thought we'd talk about it sometime during this telecast today.
Yeah, we kind of left those topics off the board during the broadcast last month, so we could kind of delve into them here a little bit when you were around.
So we'll see what Matt does. If he doesn't win his match and he comes into the booth, we'll maybe talk about him then. But
yeah, for sure.
Our camera just flipped over to lanes 5 and 6, where it's Jason Cregan against Davey Ullman. And I bowled with Davey Ullman all day today. And he started out a little slow. He went opened 3 of the first 5 frames and ended up with 190. Then he never had a game under 200. He had that slow roll, just working, flipping over, striking a lot. And I don't want to tell you how many pins I was away from him, because I would have needed 2 more to catch him. I'm out of bowling shape, Jason.
Well, you had mentioned that a little bit today. You might not be in tip-top form.
No, and not even just the bowling itself, just physically. I took off all summer, which I'll never do that again, but I did because I had a bad knee, and I had that gel shot in my knee. And
some trips. I mean, you had a lot going on.
I had a lot going on, yeah, but if somebody says that you don't have to be in shape to bowl these 8 games and stuff, they're wrong.
Yeah.
Your legs, your wrists, forearms, hips, knees.
All of it.
It gets tough.
No, and I know we're missing a couple of people with injuries today, so it obviously happens. It goes around. It's a little frustrating. I was, hoping to have a few minutes to be able to vent a little bit on this broadcast as we go through it about the entries. And I know there's a little bit of conflict. I know there's an MJ today.
Right.
So maybe we lost some youth bowlers in that. But 28 entries up here. And, it's an hour and 45 to 2 hours and 15 minutes away from, depending on where you live in the cities. And out of those 28 entries, there's got to be at least, a handful that were here for the Sun Opta sweeper yesterday and stayed over. There's probably 4 or 5 guys from the Dakotas that are here today that are, in their first one or maybe only their second one ever. We've got, 2 or 3 local bowlers. So, that literally leaves us with 12 to 14 of our regular the guys that we normally see 30 and gals that we normally see 35 to 40 of, 12 of you showed up.
And that is kind of disappointing.
It is. We're coming to a venue that we haven't been to for a long time. I tried to make it a tournament that was going to push more people to want to compete here by making it one of the Bowler of the Decade legs. I thought there would be maybe a little more push for people to want to make it, especially if they made the first one. But at the end of the day, the weather isn't bad.
It's 50 and sunny today.
Well, it's not good enough to be outdoors, but it certainly isn't a foot of snowfall, so there's no driving excuse to not be able to get here.
That's true. For that reason, yes.
Yeah, it just ends up being kind of a disappointment that you come back to a place and they've been nice to us in the past, and we've always tried to continue to come up here, and we didn't for a while because the entries had gotten kind of poor whenever we traveled. So it's just really disappointing. I wish more of the regulars would have found their way here today.
Exactly. I wish they would have too. We're watching Jason Cragen and Dave Ullman. So it looks like in the 7th frame, Jason got 59 in the 5th, spare in the 6th, and Davey's got 72 in the 6th, the spare or strike up in the 6th. So that's a pretty close match. Brady Gustafson looks like he's taking care of Chad this first game, but I don't know if you'll really be able to see him, but he's on lane 4. You see the pins flying around after he throws this strike. You'll see that was Brady. Oh, dead 10. I've left a lot of those. I missed one of about 20-some. But it's a 2-game total pin match, so it doesn't really matter if you win the first game. You could win by 100, but then you could lose by 101. Chad's got 115 in the 6 with a double up, and so he's down by, Brady's got him by 10 actually after the double and the spare by Brady here. Picks up the ball, uses that spare ball like most people do on the 10 pins.
Nick, I'm just seeing your message. I'll see you. Tom, do you have anything? Your Facebook page seems like you've gotten into the auto sales business.
I was for a little bit.
Yeah, I think Nick's seeing if you have anything.
No,
maybe you could hook him up with.
I don't have anything to sell. And being that you brought that up, I'm glad you did. My Facebook page was hacked, and so I tried to tell everybody if I'm selling on Facebook, it's going to be Facebook Marketplace. Just remember that. All right, good shot by Brady on lane 3. Nice solid strike there. Davey Oma with another 10 pin on the right lane against Jason. Not only was my Facebook page hacked, they tried to get in my Wells Fargo bank account, 3 of my credit cards, my PayPal account.
Oh, boy.
And they tried to get into my IRA account. I had a mess for a month and a half.
Ish.
And let me tell you, I've changed passwords so many different times. I actually have a Norton Vault for password stuff now. And it's really, I wake up every day wondering who was going to take some of my money.
Who's taking something from me today?
Yeah, it didn't cost me anything. Of all that stuff that's happening, besides a lot of hassle. So.
Yeah, that is a pain.
Anyway, I do not have any vehicles for sale.
Sorry, Nick. Yeah, anybody that's cashed in the CBA in the last month has noticed that they received a handwritten check in an envelope, which, by the way, is a lot of fun after the doubles.
Oh, you had to write a lot of checks.
Getting to write all those double pairings checks out was great. And then all the envelopes, because the laser checks have it on with the window.
Right.
But yeah, we had a fraud attempt on the CBA account,
right.
and we've had to change bank accounts, and because of that, yeah, it's been, well, let's just say a little more tedious.
Yes. It's just like it did in the old days.
Yes.
You used to have to write out checks. We'd have the Eau Claire tournament, and we'd have over 200 bowlers. We'd cash 60, some, whatever, and then there was a high game out of the money, and then whatever. Yeah, that's 60, 70 checks we used to have to write. And so I'd find somebody to actually write all the checks here and there, and I'd just sign them.
Yeah.
And that's when we gave checks out on Sunday, the same weekend of the tournament. We had to have them done. I changed that after I started, when I got my QuickBooks way back when I started doing it, which is really the only way to do it.
It is nowadays, that's for sure.
But you'll get that QuickBooks up and running pretty soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on the laser checks from Deluxe. It's just waiting for the product to come in, but the QuickBooks is all set up.
So you watch that shot on lane 3 where Chad just tripped out the 4-9. So he just going to have 230 something. 235
we could have a tie
here. Great, we could be tied after 1.
Yep. Yeah, again, if you're watching, 2-game total pinfall here, so.
And we're down on lanes 3, 4, 5, and 6, and we're actually using all the way up to 13 and 14. So we really don't know what's going on as far as the game, but we'll try to get an update after this first game. We'll write some scores down.
Yeah, because what we've got here is, let's see, this is 7 and 8, 9, 10. Yeah, just games 9 and games. 9 and 10, 5 and 6. So yeah, Ullman is your 3 seed. So the Ullman-Cragen match is 3 and 10, and then the Nelson-Gustafson is 5 and 8. So your 1, 2, and 4 seed matches are all up above us where we can't see.
And we really don't want to watch Davey Ullman's back of his head either, so we might have to tell him to get out of the way. Oh, Brady, that's not what you wanted to do. I know you were behind in that game, but last thing you needed to do was open in the 10th, so pick up this 210 and get you within 20 pins anyway. Yes. Come on, Brady, slide that 2-pin over. Pick up this spare. Looks good. Oh, almost. He had to go for it. Definitely, one wasn't going to be good enough. 34-pin match. He's down by there. Doesn't mean he can't come back from it. This is a tough match over on 5 and 6. Jason Cragen with 120 through 9. And Davey Ullman could have, if he spares this, he's going to be 130 some. Which he did spare it, so he's up by 19 pins going into the 10th frame. Score doesn't really matter as far as what you do, just win or losing, but it does determine. So the 6 people who don't win this first game, or don't advance out of this 2-game match, are actually set in 7th through 12th based on their average throughout all 10 games they bowled today. So, and there's a little bit of money difference, but it's not the money difference so much as the points for the bowler of the decades and also bowler of the year points. People have made or not made the first team or second team or just even an all-star team by just a couple of points. So it does matter. Chad walks back, mumbling to himself. How could I throw the ball that bad after having 7 in a row? Got the spare out of it, though. So we'll see if Brady can go back here and get back lined up again. Davey Ullman with a spare up in the 10th, so he could have 158.
All right, so quick run through. Josh Kennedy is ahead by 7 in his match as the number 1 seed over the 12 seed, 198 to 191. Matt Meyer's got a 40-pin lead over Anthony Stewart, 206 to 166. Ullman Cragen we saw, so 23 pins to Ullman, 200 to 177. Brandon
We're not done yet.
Oh, they're still going.
You got that in the wrong spot.
Yeah, we got that in the wrong spot. I'll go correct that. Brandon Hanson, Michael Neibauer, 249, 183 advantage Hanson. So
that's a lot of pins.
60, yeah, 68, something like that. We saw Chad, 235, 201 over Brady. And Paine, 248 to 235 over Cleveland. So that match way down on the end there on 13 and 14 is the definitely the tightest and the highest scoring.
13 pins.
Yeah.
No, there was a 7-pin. Wasn't somebody up by 7 pins?
Kennedy Solar.
Watch,
Kennedy's up by 7.
watch this shot by Brady, tripping out a 4-pin coming from across lane. Not your typical senior trip 4, that's a junior trip 4. Okay, so he's been late the last 2 times on the right lane, and not sure if the lanes are playing much different, left to right lane. I didn't have them much different, but I didn't bowl good at all today, so but Brady's not comfortable right now, but he'll get back there. Gustav, they call him Gustav, I guess.
Makes sense.
It does make sense to me, too.
And there's a lot of Brady's out there. So,
Exactly.
easy,
I heard that from
yeah.
our Brady Stearns guy, who's not here today.
Bad knee still.
That's what I heard. I
Little
was
battle
going to
on
talk
that.
to him about that.
Yeah.
I know all about bad knees, so I'm kind of curious of what his issue is and what he's doing for it. I tried a bunch of different things, but Chad tripping out the bucket there. Jason Cragen can strike here for 140. That would get him
by
18 pins.
That'll be 20 down then.
20. 20 pins. That's tougher than 18 to make up.
By 2?
By 2, and also because you get 9 spare here, and all of a sudden, oh man, you got to have a double where you might only needed a good count somewhere. Chad has not liked the ball that he's thrown this game yet, but he's got a spare and a double.
Yeah, he rarely does like anything. He came up complaining after Game 7, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Don't have a look. I'm on a carnival ride. It's up and down. I can't take it. But it just shot 240 to go back plus and be solidly in the cut. So
Exactly.
Ho hum.
Who won the tournament, the last singles tournament, Jason?
It was at Southway.
Yeah.
Did Chad win?
I think Chad won for his 41st title, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Then he had
I
to
wonder
go
if anybody's ever told him it gets old listening to him complain while he wins.
That's why he's very quiet. He doesn't say it out loud. Then he had to go bowl the doubles, and he had that slug, Dan Bach, holding him back.
Well,
Oh, sorry. I don't know who was better on that. I wasn't there.
Well, I had a guy named Bach in my ear quite a bit chirping about his partner letting him down. So
All right, so it was 50-50
I don't think anything's changed. I think Dan still thought he bowled better.
I know the next tournament, I know Bach can't wait because it's the team challenge. I know Bach can't wait to bowl that.
Yes.
All right, here's Gustav up on lane 3. You won't be able to see him, but you'll see the ball. Got a spare strike, spare. Off his hand is pretty good.
That's not helpful.
Must have just got it in, or it's hooking a little bit earlier for him. And
Yeah.
you can see where Chad's going around it more.
You can see
more
that
left to right.
479 there on the screen, but lane 3, yeah, it's high flush and down by 30 some. And you were working on a spare, and the other guy's working on a double.
It's making it tough for
It's
him.
making it hard. Yep.
I see David Langer is watching, and we were in Europe, and when we found out that that Zach Andreessen was looking for a partner because Brady Stearns couldn't bowl, Langer was ready to fly back.
Yeah, he offered to fly home, and then I was wondering if he was coming for his awards, but
I thought he was
apparently
going to.
he didn't make it back for those
We
either.
stopped at a bowling center in Czech Republic, but it was the wrong one.
That's not where we were.
No, we didn't find that out until we got in there. Oh, nice spare on the washout for Jason Craig in there.
Yeah. We're busy looking at the comments. We should watch live. We're probably commenting about 20-second delay, but
That's true, too.
yeah, and that's a 3-bagger now for Chad in that match against Brady. So he's definitely in control, 34 pins, and then in the 4th he's got 30 pins in this match.
Right.
So,
Almost insurmountable.
yeah, 60 pins with about 6 frames to go. It's getting tough.
Good shot by Davey Ullman there on that right lane. He was telling me towards the end of the day, you would think towards the end of the day that you want to throw the ball a little bit firmer, a little harder, but no, he wanted to keep the ball slow off his hand because he still needed to read the front of part of the lane, which I can see he's doing right now. He's still trying to do that. That was the best shot that Chad threw over on lane 3. We didn't see it, though. Josh Kennedy over on lane 7, hooked by at 2-8. Is he the one that's up by 7 pins? Josh
Yep. He is only up by 7.
Oh, the dead 10 fell out and left a 7 up there.
Of course, looking at Josh's opponent, he's opened the 2nd and a couple of spares, and Josh did have a 4-bagger. So I think Josh still probably has. And now he just left the light 7 as well. Nick Solar did. So
these scores are tough to read.
Yeah, they're a little different. Yeah, definitely a little different scoring system to get the hang of.
I got it figured out now because if you're up, it's the box is blinking up there and it shows the frame number right below it. So if you're able to look at that, you're good. And we just saw Brady Gustafson foul on lane 4. And so my guess, I haven't watched him bowl a lot. I just think he's getting a little bit quick. Not watch him just because that's a typical thing to do.
Right. Yeah. Pressure's on.
Right.
Knows he needs every shot. Brooklyn there on lane 6 from Cragen, so he's got strike and then a spare, I believe, at this point. Yeah, so he could have 2 spares in a row, and Ullman's got a double. So he's expanding on his lead early in this match.
A lady named Tracy says that it's pronounced Gusto. Gusto is Brady's nickname. I like it. And another trip
there
4.
we say him trip that 4.
But see, that's not the senior trip 4. That's that little.
No, that's a
young
messenger
man.
trip 4,
exactly.
actually. Yeah,
he's got 2 of those.
I can run and grab one because I've got to get the scores be coming in here.
I'll have
a second.
The EPA.
EPA. Okay.
Yeah, I would say that's a half 10 by Chad. He didn't like it off his hand, but I've talked to a lot of people who get in, a lot of good bowlers who can get in and just feed that ball out to the dry area, right out to that break point, and just let the ball come back. And I've never been able to do that. But guys like Chad, my buddy David Langer, Dan Bach, Brady Stearns, Will Matafee's another one. I don't want to miss out on anybody. Sam Lanto and John East used to do that. Todd Savoy could just get that ball out to that break point, and then it seems to come back strong, high flush. Maybe leave a dead 10 or light pocket, something here or there, but someday I'll learn how to do that. Josh Kennedy is over on 7 and 8. You just saw him trip out a 4-pin there. I can't quite see. We got the screen and stuff in my way, but he was using urethane most of the day, playing outside right around 5. I didn't watch him really close, but out there anyway, and he led qualifying, so obviously it worked for him. I didn't really try it. I did in shadow balls. It didn't work for me. Sure, and then Chad gets in high like that and carries something. Now that match is just about over. Well, it is over, really. But Brady wants to keep getting as many pins as possible. It will help on his position, his final position in the standings. Because he did qualify 8th, and he did have 201 the first game. So these 2 games do add up to the other, or add on to the other 8. And then I mentioned it takes an average for the 10 games. That'll determine your position for the 6 people who lose out on these 2-game matches. Be in the prize fund 7th through 12th. So just to let you know how it's going to go after this, the top 6 bowlers, or the 6 winners of these 2-game matches, they're going to all be bowling on lane 5 and 6. That's where the cameras are set up at 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, and they can determine the highest seeded bowler who's left can determine what position he wants to be. So it'll be A, B, C, D, E, F, and if you wanted to start, obviously it'd be A, B would be second, C third, D fourth, so on. And at the bottom right would be if you wanted to wait and have the ball in your hand, knowing what you need, you'd be the last bowler. So we'll determine that after the top 6 guys get over, or the 6 winners get over here. I'm going to talk about the Bowler of the Decade. This is a tournament sponsored by the Locker Guy, which happens to be me. We come up with this about 6 years ago, 5, 6 years ago, something like that. I wanted to have different formats to our tournaments. And it got to be where most of our tournaments, besides the doubles or the Masters, were 8 games of qualifying. We'd cut to the top 1/3 of the field. Based on whatever, it was 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, whatever, 1/3 of the field. But we still only bowled 6 games of round-robin match play, but it was luck of the draw. So it really wasn't round-robin, it was just luck of the draw. And we had 5 games, and there was a big position round. So it was 8 games of qualifying, 6 games of match play, and then we cut to the top 5. And that was our format for all the time. And so I tried to change some up and do something a little bit different, do a little different eliminator format. So that's why this is different than our normal. So leading, and I was going to say leading in our bowler decades in your age bracket, in order to win, you have to bowl all 3 of them, which is September, November, and February. You have to bowl all 3 of those tournaments in order to win. If you win in your age bracket, you get $300. There are 4 winners, 29 and under, in the 30s, 40s, and 50 and over. Who's ever got the most points in the September, November, February tournaments of those three gets $300. And then those 4 bowlers bowl off at the year-end tournament for another $300. And that guy is the Locker Guy Bowler of the Decades. So Zach Andreessen was leading in the 29 and under, but he's not here today. Josh Kennedy was second, and he's here in making the cut, obviously. Thomas Cleveland was about 6. He's here. Who else? Dalton Gatlin is here. Tristan Clymer. Nick Solar and Brady Gustafson. Those 6 guys are left in that 29 and under. In the 30s, Anthony Stewart is here. Brandon Hanson. And that's it. So it can be between those two. In the 40s, Ron Kish, Matt Paine, Jason Cragen. So 3 of those guys are here. And Ron Kish did not make it, but Matt Paine and Jason Cragen did. And in the 50 and over, basically Chad Nelson and Dave Ullman. They were 1 and 2 after their first tournament. So it's how you do based on the bowlers in your age bracket. It'll determine your points. Again, a good match here between Jason and Davey Ullman. And I can't quite tell what happened with Josh Kennedy. I think he won. His scores they're really small over there. So he might be moving on. So Brady Gustafson will end up with 186. He'll have 387 for his 2 games. Good showing by the young man. I did watch him from afar a couple times while I was watching the doubles tournament. When they're live stream on that, I was in Europe, but I was still watching. Nice solid strike by Jason. I'll try to get this back over to 5 and 6. I'm not sure. Here we go. Just hold on. Okay, Jason Cragen with a 4-bagger. He's got 258 out there he could possibly have. And Davey Ullman, strike up in a 7. He can have 248. So it's still a close match, and Davey would really like to have this strike up here in the 8th frame. He does have 20 pins on him. That's about as good as you can throw it off his hand, stayed up the back of it. And a strong, solid strike. This strike right here for Davey, if he gets it, it'll put a lot of pressure on Jason. Foundation frame, 9th frame. He's liking that one. So he's in the 220s for sure. What Jason obviously needs to do, he must have this one. Actually, he must have the next 3. I don't know if he liked it or not. I didn't think so. He definitely needed that, but he's got a spare strike. He can still have 235. If he does pick this spare up, he must pick this up and double, and he didn't do that. Could have still had 230 out there. Now he's going to have 220 at the most, and Davies already got that. I have no idea what they're discussing up there, but all intents and purposes, Jason is not going to win this match. Like those last two, either kind of hung up on or something. It wasn't smooth off his hand for sure. He didn't need it. Didn't want to throw an extra shot. So Dave Yolma's moving on. Josh Kennedy's moving on. Chad Nelson moving on. I think Brandon Hanson might be. Matt Meyer is moving on. Just saw that. Yeah, see? He didn't need it, but what if he did? That's why those opens in the 9th and 10th really hurt. The 10th frame really didn't matter for Jason Cragen, but when he opened the 9th, that wasn't good. All right, we're going to shut the mics off here for a little bit because we got to get everybody back onto the moving around a little bit, and so we'll be back shortly.
Again, this is a one-game match. The lowest score is going to be eliminated and will be in sixth position. Sixth.
All right, so here we're taking some practice here. The top 6 bowlers, they each get one shot on each lane. We got Chad Nelson, Matt Meyer, Dave Ullman, Josh Kennedy, Matt Paine, and Brandon Hanson. And they they actually decided what they want based on the highest seed as far as the most pins. And the first choice was by, who had the first choice? Josh Kennedy had the first choice. He took D. And then Matt Meyer took B. And then Dave Ullman took A. And then Brandon Hanson took C. Chad Nelson took F. And then Matt Paine ended up with E. All right. That's interesting. You got one in there in type, and the rest are written on the score sheet.
I could only get so much done in the time frame allotted.
Well, I'm
Handwriting was faster.
I'm actually impressed that you got the one in there.
These guys are ready to go. I couldn't hold them up anymore.
I like it. That's a good thing because it's 205.
Yeah, this is a cruising format.
Yes.
This one-game match this is it before we head into the stepladder. So
Exactly.
I'm sure you told everybody low score is out. The other 5 are seeded based upon this game. So
I didn't really explain that.
oh well, I just did.
You just did. I told everybody who was what letter based on how they decided what to be.
And this would be your top 6 seeds. So the top 6 made it through that 2-game elimination
Correct.
match. So not one of the top 6 were eliminated.
These are the 6 winners.
They are the 6 winners.
Oh, and there's only going to be one loser out of this.
There is, yes.
But-
Do you have let me see the qualifying down there. Because I know there was a big drop-off. I want to see where it came.
Oh, yeah.
Well, pretty close to it. So your top 6 seeds all advanced, and there was a drop-off, that's about right where it went from anybody plus into the minuses, and then the minuses, pretty quick. So, most of those lower seeds that were in these matches.
That is amazing. The top 6 bowlers all won their 2-game matches, and they're bowling here.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's usually there's an upset somewhere in the mix that comes out of it.
The whole idea with this is to give the people who are 7th through 12th a chance to move up.
Yep.
We gave them their chance.
Yeah, they did.
I guess they had a chance.
Yep.
Wow.
Couldn't quite get there, but you just don't see it that often where, the top
I
6
don't know
are
that it ever happened.
Yeah, are the ones that get seeded.
Because a lot
Or,
of
make it
times
through, I
on
mean.
anything, sometimes the guys who are just sneak in 10th, 11th, 12th have figured something out, and they got a little bit stronger as the day goes on, and
For sure.
the patterns come to their liking. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and without a re-oil. So this is,
Right.
we went right into the that match play portion. And so without the re-oil either, I mean, that's you're spot on. There's a lot of times some of those guys, maybe they were 100 under and they just got to 50 under and just made the cut.
right.
But they're trending the right way.
Exactly.
So it is rare to just not see at least one upset come
it's
out of, all of
That's
the
something we
favorites
can
won.
elaborate on sometime.
Yes, that is correct.
I mentioned Davey Ullman had the third pick and decided to take A and bowl first. Josh Kennedy had the first pick and decided to bowl as a D bowler. Kind of interesting. 2 or 3 of the bowlers said they didn't really care where they were.
Yeah.
We made them choose, but they didn't care.
Yeah. I guess, honestly, if I was in this scenario, I had one shot on each, so I'm not coming in blind, I wouldn't care either. If I was coming in blind, I wouldn't want to be the first person. I'd want to maybe see a shot out of somebody.
Maybe that's why Davey Ullman chose A, because he just came off this pair.
Well, yeah, he definitely has the better knowledge
Of the pair.
of it. Yeah.
But he finished
And that
the
was a
Greek church.
predetermined bit, so
Right. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can't have 12 people bowling match play and then have only 2 TV pair for 4 lanes and not figure that somebody's going to end up on there again.
Exactly. Speaking of TV pairs, well, they're just we saw
More
Matt
Deadwood.
Meyer picks up the 2-7 and knocks the pin out of the back down the lane. Speaking of, what was I just? Oh,
TV.
TV.
Yeah.
So we did some Northwest Community Television top 5 things back about 20 years ago. It was all up in the northern suburbs. So if you bowled at anyone at Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center houses, Lynbrook, Earl Brown, maybe even New Hope, I can't remember. We did about 8 TV finals in there. Well, one just showed up on YouTube from 1996 that Matt McNeil sent it to me. So I have all the VHS tapes of those that we had done. And I'm going to get my buddy Sam Lanto to digitize all of them.
Yeah.
And then we'll have them. But that's back when I had this curly mustache that people want me to have that back again.
Appreciate it. Tournament. Yeah, for sure. You had the cool stash, no doubt.
Everybody wants me to have it back except for Verna. She laughs every time she sees that, whatever. But that was, and it wasn't talked about as much as the sweater that I had on back then. It was just this blue and gray and white check thing. I don't even know where I got it from. I know I don't have it still.
It was a sign of the times.
Well,
though.
it absolutely was.
You bet.
Yep. Definitely a sign of the times. Times change.
This is another kind of facet of this format that I kind of like, as well as you just went from, and honestly, pretty rapid fire all morning. We only had 1 pair that had 4 on a pair.
Right.
So everybody else was 3 on a pair through qualifying. So we got through qualifying pretty quick. Probably about 12:45 we were done.
Yes.
Took about 20 minutes to do the details and get it all wrapped up, and then we were ready for match play. And with no re-oil, we jumped right in. And then there are only 2 on a pair, and they're going back and forth match play. So every match is only about 15 minutes, or every game is only about 15 minutes, right?
Right.
And now all of a sudden, these 6 winners, they come onto this pair, and it goes down to Chad Nelson pace. I mean, a snail's pace. No, but it does. I mean, it all of a sudden goes down to like Bowling Trios League.
Yes.
And this is going to be a 35-minute game.
Yes.
And
Partly because there's 6 on a pair,
that's,
but
yeah.
right in Chad's wheelhouse.
But it is. That was being a little facetious.
Yes.
But he does like the pace slower. He didn't like this morning's pace of qualifying.
No. Like I mentioned, I'm not in bowling shape, and because I didn't bowl all summer, and you have to, your legs aren't there, whatever. And I got tired bowling fast. Also, that was a good shot by Matthew Paine.
These twister pins fly around up here like something else, you know, and sometimes it's a benefit, and sometimes it's not.
I didn't see him fly around for me, by the way. It's got to be that slower ball speed.
When we come up here and bowl the Garden Center tournament,
Right.
It's noticeable to me that I leave a few more of the rip 10s. The 6 flies so high, so quick.
Around it.
Goes up and around it. I also carry more washouts, though, on light hits because those twisters will come flying off the walls. And then there's more deadwood here than anywhere else in North America.
Anywhere, exactly.
With those things.
I
They
can't
come
tell you.
flying out.
You know what's
Yeah.
really good about that? About this house because of that? Everybody at the desk, there was 3 or 4 kids working, or guy, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They were down there getting that pin out of the channel before
Yeah.
you could even press the button. And
They're
say-
looking-
They're looking for that,
Yeah.
and that's a good. The Meyer family who runs this, that's their coaching and teaching
It's
here.
good training.
Training, yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
You pay attention. You don't just sit up there on your phone
Yep.
and wait for somebody to call you to go do something.
Watch the leagues, watch the tournament, watch
Yep.
what's happening. So we see Matt right there. Matt Meyer missed that baby split. So
Matt
And
Meyer, a former champion here at this Garden Center Lanes. Garden Center Lanes.
ooh, a little skinny there by Chad, but he got it.
He knew it.
He gave her the slow hook at it.
We had a couple lefties make the top 12. You're watching Brandon, one of them there, and Jason Cragen, who just lost out to Davey Ullman.
Yep.
But,
Well, that's always, it's a good thing.
yes.
You don't want to see the overabundance based on numbers of them, but you don't want to see shut out and feel like they didn't have much of a chance on their side or anything like
Right.
that. So
Pat Humphrey,
if a couple of them make it in, that's good ratio. That means you did a pretty good job of making it fair.
that's what we always want to do. And Pat Humphrey
Yeah.
always talked about that years ago. And he's a past CBA president also. And he would say, okay, if we have this many bowlers and what's the ratio, or how many lefties are here, what's the ratio of them either cashing or making the cut. And we tried to do that.
Yep.
And we put these patterns out, not for anything, but and that's about the fourth trip too that I saw Davey throw today anyway. We put these patterns out not to shut anybody out at all. We just use some sort of sport or challenge pattern, and it's not determined by the house. So it's not like a house bowler come out here and do better than somebody else. Maybe they could if they know a pair's a little better.
That would be it.
That would be it, right?
Just pair knowledge is the only advantage a house bowler has in the CBA at any house anymore.
Right.
And even with the knowledge of that, you still have to execute to have that make a difference. As we see Maddie knock out that light 7. I can know that 4 hooks more than 3, but if I can't execute it, it doesn't matter.
Exactly. So Matt Paine still playing. I wasn't sure how far out he's been playing all day, but he's definitely out on straighter and harder. Leaving the bucket.
Yeah, Joel, I just saw your comment from about a half hour ago here. Yeah, why were the entries so low? We did kind of touch on it earlier. Well, I guess we didn't touch on a reason very much. We talked a little bit about my disappointment level with,
Right.
Overall, I guess a lot of the regulars. We didn't see very many regulars here. There's a lot of new faces. There's a lot of holdovers from yesterday. There's a lot of local people. Oh, Maddie. But not a lot of our regulars. And so the only thing I have is not a good explanation, Joel. It's just a certain level of disappointment. We couldn't fill the house better.
Exactly. I'm disappointed also. Whoa. Chad leaving the 5-count washout. Said something to Josh. I don't know what it was. I wonder if he's saying that's because of your urethane. Not sure if Josh is still using urethane, but he did most of the day. It looks like it is. He wouldn't be playing that straight without it. Oh, and he doesn't get the messenger 4-pin. That saw Brady Gustafson do a couple.
Thank you.
We used to come up here all the time. And one tournament way back at the old place, I don't remember what year was because I don't remember how old Brent Prentice is. But Brent Prentice celebrated his 30th birthday up here once at the old place. And let's say we had a visitor come to see him. Well, he missed that 4-pin, hooked right by it. That's not good, Josh. There was a visitor that came to see him when we had a party after the Saturday qualifying on Brent's 30th birthday. So Brent Prentice, you might want to, if you're watching or somebody's watching, tell Brent to tell us what that visitor was like. Fun times back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So Matt Paine is doing what I did all day long. One lane, I leave a bucket, make an adjustment on that, and I go high for a split. So then I have like two opens, open back to back. It drove me nuts all day long. That's another open by Matt. You can't see all the scores up there, who's doing what. But I'll fill you in kind of here. So that's Matt Meyer. He's the B bowler. He just went spare open double. D is Josh Kennedy. He's got 66 in the fourth. E, Matt Paine, 57 in the fourth. In the third frame, 41 for Chad Nelson. He's up right now. Davey Ullman, 58 in the third, a spare up. Matt Meyer, 27 in the second with a double up. And you'll see Brandon Hanson and Chad Nelson going right now. So nobody's out of it. Nobody's running away with it yet. Chad breaking up that 2-8-10, which is just huge because you definitely did not want to have back-to-back opens.
You'll have to carry most of the commentary for a little bit.
I'll try to do that.
Charging.
Oh.
It doesn't charge.
Doesn't charge by itself?
Time. No.
Oh, so in other words, the more you talk, it didn't work?
No.
Oh. All right. Well, we could always share the mic if you.
Well, and I figure it'll be some admin stuff to take care of here.
Okay.
In a minute, get them squared away, and hopefully this charges quick.
All right. I'll just I'll fill them in as the best I can. If anybody's watching the Vikings game, want to know what's going on, the Vikings are up 23-10, and 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Down in Tennessee. So, Josh, just using that urethane ball, throw it out towards the channel. It's like 80s bowling, except it hooked for me back then. Short oil back then. I could throw it out to that gutter. Used to want to throw the ball to the gutter halfway down the lane. That's what you wanted to do back then with that urethane. And that's what Josh is doing. All right, let's see what Matt Paine does right now after he went bucket and then makes a little adjustment and goes through the nose for a split. Threw it hard.
Through the nose again.
Well, he didn't want to leave that bucket. That's what I did all day long. I was never comfortable. Not at all. Davey should pick up this 1-2. Unless he missed it to the right.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Out the door.
Wow. How often does that happen? That's just a focus thing right there.
Yeah, because that was 2 in a row.
Yes.
I mean, his strike shot was out the window as well.
Exactly. So did Josh Kennedy bowl in this pair much to use that urethane? I'm not saying that's the reason, or if anybody else used urethane on this pair more than others, I don't know.
I have it on good authority that urethane was out quite a bit, and even early on the fresh where there was some good volume and everything. But there were several that had it. Ooh.
That wasn't urethane there.
There's them twister pins flying around.
Well, Matt kind of helps them twister pins twist a little by his roll.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Yeah. It is fun to be able to get a front row at that.
And your tournament team?
Yeah.
Yep. I understand.
I don't think watching Chad is all that much fun.
Yeah, no.
Tripping fives like that, and no.
No, that doesn't do anything.
But Matty throwing pins around is always fun to watch.
Well, he just did there, that's for sure.
Man, did he have a good USBC this time.
I heard that too, yes.
Golly.
It's fun watching people at the USBC have those.
Yeah.
And I've had a front row seat of a lot of my teammates who have done that. In
Put
fact,
on the exhibition, yeah.
this will be my 50th next year, and I'm already thinking of what I want to say when I walk out and to say a few words. And I'm starting to make notes of what I want to say. I get about a couple minutes speech or something, and I will be certainly talking about how I've been lucky enough to be on a team I'm on, and how much good success we've had over the years out there. So, yeah, I can't wait to go. And it's in Baton Rouge, and I get to go to New Orleans again. That's
Good shot.
That's unfair.
Yeah, really good shot.
Josh?
We have quite a turnaround for us. We are all going to be driving, and based on the timing, we're all going to be leaving from the year-end CBA.
Okay.
And we, on our way back, are bowling the Greater Ozarks Open in Springfield. So it's going to be a drive down on Sunday after the CBA, and we bowl Wednesday, Thursday, and drive from Baton Rouge to Springfield and bowl all day Saturday and head home Sunday. So
Wow.
we're not a lot of hanging out time
No.
on our trip. It's a bowling trip.
Ours is, it's a bowling, fun, vacation type thing.
Good shot, Matty.
I had to write, I had a questionnaire I had to fill out because of my 50th coming up. And so they want to know what was my favorite USBC bowling city and why. I said Baton Rouge. A couple of reasons. We had a really, really good 2012 tournament at Baton Rouge. In 2005, I went down there to watch Todd Savoy get inducted in the USBC Hall of Fame. And it'll be my 50th. I can hang out at New Orleans. So that's my favorite city. Because it certainly is not Reno or Vegas.
No. I don't think anybody would pick those that has done it a long time.
I don't think so.
I think you'll get people that would pick that city that, if you're asking the newcomers or something like, hey, what do you enjoy about this? They'd go, oh, I love Vegas, I love Reno,
Right.
whatever. The rest of us that go there several times, maybe even a few times a year throughout some years,
Right.
we don't feel that same excitement. And I'm looking forward to North Carolina in a
Yeah,
few years.
exactly.
You know,
I'm with you.
I liked Knoxville, I liked Billings, you start naming these places. Even Syracuse, as bad as
Yes.
they bowled, it was just good to go somewhere I would never go
That's
if
what
it wasn't for that.
You're exactly right. I used to tell everybody all the time. I got to travel around the country bowling at all these different
El
places.
Paso,
Yeah.
Corpus Christi,
Corpus Christi was a lot of fun.
all places I probably wouldn't normally go.
Billings and Corpus are two good places because we won the Team All Events Eagles at those places.
Oh,
so
nice.
those are on my list too as far as fun places to
Faves.
bowl.
Yeah.
But not for the city itself.
Yeah.
Well, Corpus was fun. The first time we went there was like 1992. We went deep sea fishing. I got sick on that boat going out to the ocean. But so did Brad Subeck. He was first before me, and Sam reeled in a yellowfin tuna or something. Yeah, we had 6 or 7 of us on the boat.
Davis.
Okay, he's going to walk away for a little bit.
That's a couple of mental
Exactly.
faux pas on his on his side.
Let's look at the scores here now because we can only see what's up when that particular bowler is up. But Davey has 111 in the 7th.
Yeah.
Behind him is Matt Meyer, who's got a 4-bagger after his spare opened. So he's up there pretty good. C bowler is, who is C bowler? That was Brandon Hanson. That was that was Brandon Hanson, and he's pretty good. He's got 118 in the 6th. Then we got the D bowler, which is Josh Kennedy, 115 in the 6th with spare up. Now, Matt Paine is up right now with strike 77 in the 5th, strike up in the 6th, good chance for a double. And Chad Nelson with only 81 in the 5th. Him and Davey Ullman are fighting for the 5th and 6th position right now, it seems like. That hurt Matt right there. That could have been a double. That's when those solid 8s and 9s really hurt you when you really need them. You're going to leave him.
Yeah, I think it's those three. I think it's, Ullman, Paine, and Nelson.
Yeah, Paine now. I was assuming he was going to strike, and then he was going to take charge. Well, Matt Meyer hasn't won a tournament in a long time. Brandon Hanson has never won a tournament. Josh Kennedy just won his first a few months ago. It's been a while for Davey Ullman, but he's got 5, I think, CBA titles, and he's a CBA Hall of Famer. Matt Paine, who's now a CBA Hall of Famer, hasn't won a CBA for a while. Yeah, I talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
I watched it from afar.
That's right. Yeah, I liked Baton Rouge. We also, last time down there, 2012, I still have the Foo Fighters t-shirt from the concert we went to.
Okay.
Which was at the New Orleans Jazz Fest.
Oh, nice.
So it was an all-day affair outdoors. Actually, it runs for many weeks, but the weekend we were there, the Foo Fighters were on stage. There were 2 stages on either end of like a large infield of a racetrack.
Oh, okay.
But there's like 18 stages all throughout the grounds, all these different groups playing in that. But
wow.
Anyways, that was a lot of fun.
How come the people with the big heads want to stand in front of the cameras? He's just showing off his Bowlers Connection shirt.
It is a heck of a logo.
It is.
The front of his shirt isn't bad either.
Oh, he picked that up. That helped a ton. Yeah, the front of his shirt says Southway something on there.
Southway Bowl.
All
And
right.
the North Stars logo.
Yeah, I like that North Stars logo.
do too.
I remember talking to Eric Schott about that a few years ago.
No.
That could have been a turkey somehow.
And the information you gave is really good, or I should say advice that you gave is really good when you talk to Eric, because there are so many teams that kind of become known, and then, something changed. Oh, tough 4-pin for Davey.
Yes.
Something changes along the lines, and all of a sudden they're not sponsored by the same
Correct.
person. So the Lakers have, you could have been anything. You were the Linz Lakers.
Right. We were the Twin City Lakers to start.
Yeah. You can take on any given sponsor, but everyone knows the Lakers.
Correct.
So we had gone through, we were the Brunswick team. We were the Farmington Lanes North Stars. Well, we were the Farmington Lanes team. Then all of a sudden,
North
there
Stars.
were 2 Farmington Lanes teams competing. That got a little confusing. And then, the
Yeah,
North
I
Stars.
remember discussing it with Eric about that
And it
because
does. It sets you apart.
he, when I remember talking to him, it could have been the Loons, who was something I threw out there, but he didn't want to do that because of his dad and Terry in the Loons team.
Yeah.
So he didn't want to
that
really
makes
take
sense.
that.
Yeah.
But that was, but they knew who they were. Well, there's a lot of teams who just get new bowlers too. Maybe not all new bowlers every year, but they might replace a bowler or 2 here and there. And then they go from, say, sponsored by Brunswick, or say they're sponsored by Hammer or whatever. And if you keep changing that, you don't know who that is, especially when you look in a past prize list to see who won. So what I like, another trip too. How can this guy get so lucky?
Not his fault.
No. It's got to be that 16-pound equipment because Davey Ullman did a lot of that today.
Oh,
you
this
picked it
little
up.
9-10 conversion.
I couldn't see because somebody
His head was in
right
the way.
in the way again. So we have to make sure we tell him after this match.
Well, we'll lose a lot of people after this match because it'll just be the step ladder one at a time.
That's true. The guys will be sitting down then.
Should keep them out of our way.
Deb Nordness Hoffman says hi.
Hi.
A number 1 fan. Hey,
Oh.
Deb, how are you? The team you're on, Jason, I like that name because it's called the Locker Guy.
Yeah.
There's nothing to go past that, but it's been since 2009, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to use us as an example of kind of being in that scenario.
Right.
Where a lot of people know a lot of us that are on the team.
Correct.
But then now, when we go forward, I mean, most people know the locker guy name probably is not going to continue in the bowling sponsorship world as heavily as it was.
We don't know that yet.
Well, no, but I mean, but we,
right, exactly.
We don't know where that stands.
Yeah.
And the assumption is that
Someday.
it's not going to be as heavily donated as it was when you owned the
Yeah.
company. And so it's something that have to think about. And then when we do, like when they came Bogarts into the locker guys,
Yeah,
right?
right.
It was a whole new identity, but you knew who they were.
I knew that. And I still remember when Tom Korth came up to me and asked, and I believe they asked somebody else first, and he said no. I always wondered why that one guy said no. Because if you're into bowling, you do stuff for bowlers, you want your name out there.
Good shot, Matty.
And granted, just so you know, me sponsoring as the locker guy doesn't really help my business because I'm not in a bowling business. I'm not in a bar, or restaurant business, whatever. But I'm doing it, and I've said this before, to give back to the game of bowling. Because I've been lucky enough to be in this, a better team, and my career. Bowling wasn't as good as maybe as it could have been, but I still made some money along the way. And now to help other people, I'm more than happy to do that.
Yeah, sponsoring a team does not make you.
No.
Even when you're in the industry.
The reason I did it, well, a few reasons, but one reason was at that time I was just kind of starting out my business.
Good break.
And I wanted everybody to know what I did.
Yeah.
And now I think anybody who's a bowler knows who the locker guy is. And now exactly what I wanted to do.
And I'm sure you sold some lockers.
Oh, yeah. I have.
I
have.
You sold some bowlers.
Deb Hoffman, for one,
Lockers.
where she used to work, got a locker order. Dan Langer. He works down at the City Owatonna, bought some lockers from us. And Mike Week, who works for a food distributor down in Rochester, bought some lockers from us. So, yes, I have gotten business out of it.
Yep. I mean, it wasn't the main reason you did
No.
it for sure, because again, you're not in a bowling business.
No.
But bowling alleys, we do have lockers.
Everybody has a locker.
So it's.
I don't really sell the bowling ball lockers because those are AMF, Brunswick, or whatever.
Okay.
They're a little bit different style. We do sell some. And in fact, I got to call John Foss because he called me looking for something to fit 3-ball bowling bags, and we have them. And the same lockers that were sold at South Point are the same exact locker that we sell. Oh. The problem is with my supplier right now doesn't want to do small quantities of that special locker. So I'm working on that. And John, if you're watching, I'll be getting a hold of you tomorrow or Tuesday. I hope to have some good news where I can do something. All right, let's get everybody up to speed here. What's going on?
We're coming down now, finally, to the nitty gritty.
So A is Dave Ullman. He's got 130 in the 8th with a spare up in the 9th. I watch Matt Paine. He's got 137 in the 8th, spare in the 9th. So he's 7 pins ahead of Davey.
Got Ullman at 180 max, 245 max for Meyer. Glasses are getting me. Is that 168 for?
Yeah, 228 for Brandon Hanson. He's going to be. He could be the leader. I think he's going to be the leader.
Yep.
And he has not won a CBA title.
Has not. I'll have to check the bet you win.
Oh yeah,
on
good
this
point.
too when we get to the top 5 to see where we're at with that.
Well, Chad could use this strike right here. He kind of knew he needed it too. He half ran that one out. So, Davey Ullman getting up in the 10th frame, he must double.
Yeah, he's the one that needs
180 max. And he'd force Matt Paine to double.
Correct.
Everybody else is over that 180. They're jockeying for position.
Yep.
Matt Meyer can strike out to force Brandon Hanson to double to take number 1 spot. So, we got some stuff to shoot for here because any spot you move up in that step ladder, it's man. There's one less you got to win, a chance to win the tournament.
Yep.
See what Davey does here. I don't think he liked that.
No, that was out the door.
Yeah, exactly.
Wash out.
And then Matt Paine right next to him, and under his breath says, "Ooh, nice." Ooh. So now what he's trying to do, he just wants to get into the ladder. He's not trying to jockey for position. He wants to get a strike here to make sure he's in.
Yeah. Live to see another day get off this pair. Be probably the first match, so get on to the next
Oh,
pair.
that too. Okay, well, he didn't make it easy.
Oh.
I've seen Davey pick this up earlier today. All right. Okay.
56. Is that?
It's over now. So Davey is the sixth place finisher. I'm pretty sure Matt's going to be fifth because everybody else is pretty much over that. I guess Chad could open and be fifth, but it's not going to matter. They're fourth or fifth.
Matt just did. But he had it, but holy buckets.
I don't want it. You take it.
Yeah. Well, I think that solidifies that Matt's going to be probably 5.
Chad could probably be
Chad would
4.
be 4.
Just where Chad likes it.
Yeah.
Keep bowling, run the ladder.
Yeah. Keep loose. Yeah, so 25 max for Matty.
So who, there's one lefty in the step ladder. He's going to be leading.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have to bowl any more games, and his shot's not going to change, I don't think, except for every time they sit a little bit, don't they kind of dry up a little?
But it's not going to.
Nobody's bowling.
Yeah. Yep. And it will be on this pair.
Oh, yeah.
It will.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good point.
So he will be on this pair as well, which he definitely, obviously, has a bit of a look on.
That he does. Well, I'm pretty sure he came up here because of the bowler of the decades, because he was in the 38 bracket, and the only ones that are here are him and Anthony Stewart.
Yep.
Of the 30s. I talked to Aaron Schrader at the Masters.
He's leading that
He didn't
age
bowl.
bracket.
Yeah, he didn't bowl. I go, how come he didn't bowl? He goes, I'm saving myself for the CBA. Well, he didn't show up.
This is the CBA. He
Yeah.
should be here.
Yeah, he should be here.
Oh, that's too bad. 'Cause he's
He
leading
must-
that age group.
he must
and he's
not-
been bowling more lately, too.
Yeah,
So
so now he can't win. There's only 2 people that can win that age bracket now. Anthony Stewart and Brandon Hanson. Yeah. There's 4 of us over 50 that can win, theoretically, but not mathematically. Passed up a lot of them now because you're here. Oh, yeah. Nope. So the way this works is everybody in the 29 and under, how all of you players fared in this particular tournament. So Josh would be high of all you guys 29 and under, so he'll end up getting the 25 points, and then you'll fill in. Thomas will probably be up there. Depending on how you finished, you'll get points for that. So. No, but as far as under 20, you might be 3rd or 4th or 5th or some of those of your age bracket. That's all that matters for this. Well, Zach's out of it because he only bowled 1. He can't win if you don't bowl all 3 of them. So you have to bowl all 3 in order to have a chance to win. So you're right in there. Like the 20th or something. somewhere around there.
It is 2:36.
Okay, let's get back to here. I was in away for a little while. Looks like it'd be Brandon, and then Matt Meyer, and then Chad, and then Josh, and then Matt. So we'll be on 3 and 4 for the first match, and we'll shut the mics off here for a little bit, and we'll get back as soon as they start. As soon as they start up the step ladder. Hey, Joel. Yeah, you're right. With the added money that I put in for this, you would think that more people would want to bowl just because they have a chance to win. It's $300 to win in your age bracket, and then it's $300 to win if you win the overall bowler of the decades at the year-end tournament. So that's an extra $600 you can win. And I really don't know why people don't bowl. Everybody has their own reasons, good or bad. I mean, they're all good reasons for that person. That doesn't matter. They don't want to bowl, can't bowl, for whatever the reason is. We just wished there would have been more entries. And saying that, it's happened before, and we'll come back next month. Next month will be the CBA Masters. And you never know. People only have so much money to spend. And so they have to put it somewhere. Thanksgiving's coming up. There was an MJ today. The MSC is next Sunday. I don't know if that matters to a lot of the older bowlers because money's not as much of an issue for the older bowlers. So, but in saying that, we are disappointed, but it's not gonna hurt us. We'll be back. All right, we took a break to get our top 5 for a picture. We did that. These guys get 2 practice shots on each lane, and then the higher seeded bowler gets the choice of what he wants to do, if he wants to start the match or have the ball in hand to finish the match. So Josh Kennedy and Matt Paine. And Josh, who just won his first CBA title a few months ago and was a leading qualifier today. And Matt, who was just inducted into our CBA Hall of Fame at the last month's doubles tournament, which was our year-end All-Star team and Hall of Fame banquet that we have every year, of course. I'm going to look up here when last tournament that Matt won. Let's see, Matt Paine. He won July of 2012, July of 2013, and April of 2018. That was like 6 years ago since Matt won a CBA tournament. But he's won a couple of Masters tournaments since then, and he's always up in the. He's always making the cut. Seems like he's always making the cut. Because of a roll like that. Throws it hard, but semi-soft off his hand.
Yeah. Well, I got a little charge.
Okay. Jason's all charged up. Back here ready to go.
I have a feeling they could probably hear me a little bit in the background anyways.
I think they did. Josh has the choice of who starts. Does he want Matt to start the match? It looks that way. And I mentioned the last tournament that Matt won was April of 2018.
Oh.
That's not counting the Masters tournaments that he's won.
For sure.
The last CBA.
Little 7-year drought in the CBA, or 6-year drought.
6.5 or whatever, yeah. Josh won a few months ago.
Yeah.
39, 38. Yeah, we're waiting. Find something to do while you have to calisthenics or anything like that.
Yeah, jumping jacks.
Yeah, I want to see. Oh, no.
Arm curls.
Yeah. We'll talk about painful questions while we're...
we didn't even get into it.
Well,
we've been waiting for the president, and he keeps staying alive.
We have 19, 18 seconds. The one I wanted to bring up was somebody talked about why can't we wear shorts other than the summer? And a lot of people like to do that, whatever. And my thought on that is this organization is based after the PBA, and the PBA doesn't allow it. Whereas they don't allow hats either, and we want people to look professional out here bowling. So we do it in the summer because it's hot and whatever. But other than that, I've seen so many tournaments, being that there's a lot more being live streamed nowadays.
Yeah,
so
a lot
I see
more.
it from all over. And I see people in T-shirts and hats, whether they're forward or backward, and sweatpants and whatever. And that, to me, does not look like a professional scratch tournament organization.
I'm going to agree with you. We've... as a tournament team, we've always worn. Typically, it was black pants.
Yeah.
For our tournament team, for the longest time, when I joined the Locker guys, they were coming off their khaki period, and they had worn khaki for a long time. We went to black, and it is one of those things where. Even for a long time, you didn't allow jeans, at all. Basically, it was jeans on never on Sunday.
Correct, for sure on Sunday.
And,
we only have a couple of tournaments that way now.
Right, and only good jeans in good repair and clean and all that were allowed on Saturdays. And but it's true, if you go bowl any PBA event, you're not allowed to wear shorts. You're not allowed to wear a hat. You can't wear sweatpants.
Right.
You can't wear shorts. It's just, I'm in agreement. I also believe it. Look, I mean, I'm a different sort, too. I get that. But, I mean, when I was 13, 14 years old and Mom would take and drive me into Wilmer from Kirkhoven to go practice at 9:30 at night when I was supposed to be going to bed, but league was over, I put on my white pants and my blue angle striped polo shirt, and I went to practice bowling. I didn't practice in a T-shirt ever. I didn't practice in any sweatpants ever. I actually dressed even to go practice like I was going to bowl an event.
Jerry Ernster, who he was one of the first coaches around the Minneapolis, St. Paul area, and he always said,
"More Deadwood,
look good, you bowl good."
Yeah.
So you want to look the part as a bowler.
I wear shorts when I golf a lot, but I'll be honest there too. It's the summertime and it's warm here in Minnesota a lot. I wear pants when it's cold.
But you're also not golfing in a tournament that would not allow you to wear shorts.
But I am when I'm golfing, also wearing a polo shirt, a windbreaker. I look very much a golfer when I go play golf.
Whether you are a good golfer or not.
It doesn't matter. I look the part when I go.
I totally agree with you, man. It was brought up on our tournament team a long time ago. We wear black pants 99% of the time. Every once in a while, we would have some gray, depending on what color shirts we had most of the time. But now we kind of buy our shirts based on our black pants. Mm-hmm. And somebody on our team one time, who's not on our team anymore, but said, "Hey, can we wear jeans?" And John E. said, "It's not part of the uniform."
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah.
So we want to make this organization top notch, and I think we do. We want to keep it there. People know that coming in, the talk is that you can't wear hats, you can't wear sweatpants, can't do whatever. Shorts we allow in the summer, of course, which I get that because it's really hot and we want to get some more bowlers. One guy that I know one time said, why couldn't he wear shorts at a tournament? And he brought up, how about that woman there? She wears, Josh missed another single pin,
Josh,
which he does way too often. Said, how come she can wear a skirt like that, whatever? And I said, I'm not going to say his name, and I go, if your legs look like hers, I'd let you wear shorts too.
Well, and even the...
Kidding, obviously, by the way. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the women are allowed skirts in that.
Correct. There's a red line under the second frame where Matt's up there bowling, and I don't know if that means...
I think that's the correction for... It counted the deadwood that he got.
Got it. Okay.
Yep, that is what it is. Yep.
So that was one. That was one question.
Yeah.
Other one was brought up about why can't we allow bowlers to bowl from other parts other than the 5-state area in Canada?
Well, and that was a two-parter.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that one led into a little deeper conversation because it was kind of a... Well, actually, that was, I think, Paul Bober is who you're thinking of when Paul said it would be great if you'd allow someone to drive from like 4 miles in Illinois, I think it was, or
something
Indiana or whatever. I think it was Illinois. And anyways, you said, well, if you're bowling league in Wisconsin, right, you're in.
Right.
And so that is a pretty simple question in that. And I don't have as much of an issue personally with the... Let's say in Indiana, somebody that lives just this far over the border, from Illinois or Wisconsin or whatever. Not the biggest deal to me, I think, for some of those. But the second part of what led to Paul's response was the overall, why don't we allow PBA bowlers?
Right.
That's where the whole thing kind of started, right? It was...
Which we've talked about a lot.
Yeah, and it was why don't we allow PBA bowlers, and then it added into why don't we allow, these other regions and that kind of thing. And I guess a lot of the reasons that were given by others as to why they think tended to be a very straight comparison between us and a different tournament organization. The Greater Iowa.
Right.
And I love Joe, and I've bowled a bunch of the Greater Iowa events when I became the tournament director, and we just, don't let our director bowl
right.
our
the
events.
CBA, right, yeah.
I had to look for other things to try and bowl, and so I went to Iowa, and I bowled a lot of those events. And I love him. I think he does a great job with them. I think it's all great, but they're different. And why does that have to be right or wrong?
It doesn't have to be. These are just our rules.
And that's what I have the problem with is you want us to allow you in because it fits your agenda.
Correct.
It fits your desire. It fits your will. And you're going to just point out all these other areas or facets or organizations that would let you.
Yeah.
And that should sway my decision then because they would. But what you don't get is that's not us. That's not what we were founded on.
I was just going to say that. Our forefathers come up with this in 1971.
And we've stuck true.
Constitution of the CBA.
We've stuck true.
And I don't want to say we don't ever want to try something new or do something else, but how would that benefit us by allowing a few other people to come up once every couple of years to bowl a tournament when they're not supporting us all the other time, whatever.
And that is such a kicker is, if you look at the Greater Iowas and you look at the pros that are allowed, air quotes allowed to bowl in there, your regulars boil down to guys like a Tom Hess that lives in Iowa and when he's home will just bowl, right? Looking for something to bowl. We have the same kind of. We have Brady Stearns who lives home, is a PBA guy and is looking to bowl when he's not doing other stuff, right? I mean, it's not like, sure, you one of your events is the 11thframe.com or the Winter Classic or the Fall Classic, and you allow a Chris Prather that comes in and bowls it, or you've got a Nick Kremel who's got, the ability to come in and bowl it, and these guys bowl more than 50% of the national tour stops and stuff. That's fine.
It's good for them.
Good for them. But we want the people that are going to support the organization throughout 12 months.
Right.
Not when it just only fits their schedule to come and do it and try and take as much prize fund as they can from the people that support it for 12 months.
We used to go to Eau Claire, and we used to have 200 bowlers that would bowl in Eau Claire all the time. We'd get people flock to it. For whatever reason, it was always the third weekend in November when it was deer hunting season for opening deer hunting for Wisconsin. And so we'd always have the CBA. We'd go to Eau Claire that time of year all the time. Well, we had a rule years ago. We always allowed bowlers from Wisconsin to bowl. It didn't matter where you lived in Wisconsin. Most of them from Milwaukee never came over to bowl because it was too far away and whatever. They didn't. But we also had a rule that if you hadn't bowled, you could not make, if you weren't a regular CBA bowler, I can't remember how we determined a regular one, whatever, if it was bowled so many in the last few years, whatever, I can't remember all those details, but you could not have Eau Claire be your first tournament of the year.
Sure.
So we didn't, I don't want to say we were picking on the ones from Milwaukee, Madison, whatever, to not come over, but that paid a couple grand for first place, so we didn't want the top-notch bowlers that didn't come out to support us.
Absolutely.
That would have hurt our tournament. And we have, you talk about some other tournaments, we are a 12-month tournament organization.
Yep.
We have 12 tournaments a year. It's not just 2 or 3. We don't put all our money into one big one. Like I was talking to Chad Nelson earlier today. If we just had one tournament a year and we put in all the sponsorship money, we could have 150 bowlers. We'd have a big thing like a Minot.
Yeah.
We don't want to do that. Not that we don't want to ever. We tried to do that a while ago, but it just didn't pan out with the right sponsorship. But we try to run them monthly.
Yep.
And it's something for somebody to do. And we're also part-time. And watching Josh throw that ball, he missed that single pin and fired him up.
Well, he's rolling that urethane really, really good right now.
Absolutely.
It's, we've obviously seen him a lot on the telecasts, and we talk about the spare shooting and that, but he definitely used it as a motivating factor to bear down and focus some more.
Maybe that's what he needs. I don't know, but he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah.
And Matt has been all around the pocket, but just
can't
get the
carry.
one strike.
Just can't carry.
Until
there it finally is, yeah. Yeah.
If I would have known the shot was out there, I would have played it out there.
It just developed. It just became that.
Yeah. I still couldn't get the ball to face. Like Davey Ullman told me, I had a hard time getting my ball to read the front part of the lane, let alone the back end of the lane. So it either hook early or skid through, whatever. I was just all left and right all over the place. Now, a month from now when I'm bowling, hopefully better, at both our games, I wouldn't be as bad as I was. Still would have struggled today. I know that.
Sure.
Oh, we got that in.
Oh!
Maybe not.
I actually want to say I think he might have moved in a little bit on that.
Okay.
I mean, I agree with you, but I guess to me it looked like his feet were
A little lefter?
Yep. A little more like that was still parallel, like he was on the right, kind of,
Yeah.
with not a lot of angle up front.
I know, he's got that water bottle that says, I'm with stupid, and he's got it pointing right at him. Class of 2028. Oh, wow. It's got to be one of your kids.
Oh, that didn't sound. Oh, boy.
He's bowling against somebody who's getting stupid carry.
I find myself so often looking at the screen, being blocked by somebody bowling
Yeah,
on the
right.
screen
We'll
when
keep
the
just-
lane is right in front of me and I can see.
I know.
So
I'm off to the side right now, so I can see that too. But yeah, you get used to watching the monitor right
Yeah.
here, and
but that was very, very fortunate. That
we need to get some
wasn't,
stands here, really tall chairs where we can look down on the lane and on the screen.
Yeah, we need a grandstand set up.
yeah.
Portable grandstand.
I'll work on that. Have somebody build one or to climb up into it. So that was about 7.
Yeah, good shot.
And it,
The old crow's nest, right? The announcer's crow's nest. That's what
right.
we need.
That's what we need, yep. With the plexiglass in front.
Yeah.
You,
Oh, yeah. We'll wait a second here while Zippy clears the deadwood. Like I said, these twister pins, they like to fly around a lot here. But the staff, highly trained. They do a great job of getting them cleared out here. They're always attentive. They know it's there before we let them know. All right, Maddie needs another one here. Oh, and I couldn't see that the 10 was up too, so a 210. He was going to basically really kind of need some help coming down the stretch anyways, but...
I had to walk away for a second, so I see the 210.
Yeah, little right, never recovered.
Yeah, he's hurting now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear those pins off in the distance. That's Chad Nelson warming up. The third place seated, the bowler seated in third place will take on the winner of this match here. And as of right now, it's certainly looking like Josh Kennedy is going to be the winner. But
Yeah, Matt is maxing 214. Josh has got 268 still available. So yeah,
it's over now.
yeah,
So as a bowler, and like Josh seems to be focused most of the time, but sometimes, okay, you already won. You get a little sigh of relief. But then you kind of tend to go through the motions instead of staying focused.
I mean, I that's pretty individual.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
everybody handles that a little differently. But you do see that sometimes, almost in like their overall body language, where the sigh of relief gets sighed, and then all of a sudden it's split,
Yeah, right.
wash out.
I totally agree because you're just not focused.
You come down so much so
Yeah.
quick.
Brent, this is our first step ladder match. And then Josh Kennedy's going to win this, and Chad Nelson's the second seed. Matt Meyer Chad's the third seed. Matt Meyer is the second seed, and Brandon Hanson is your leader,
qualifying leader.
So he's got a chance to win his first CBA title, and I'm not sure he's been in a CBA stepladder before.
I want to say he's been in a stepladder, but I also think it was a. Thank you.
Masters.
I think he was. No, I think he was like fifth seed and lost. I mean, I think he got in, but didn't really advance past a match. So, I think being the number one seed is definite new. That's going to be new ground for him.
Yeah. Modified house shot. This is super modified house shot, or whatever you want to call it.
It started as the 2023 Queens tournament pattern, which is just at 2-to-1 for a ratio. About 27 mils, almost 28, I believe, off the top of my head.
Yep, that's what it was on the sheet.
So that's definitely a very modified house pattern.
You're right, Brett. Brandon is the best lefty in the house today?
Easily. There's no argument.
Jason Cragen made the top 12 cut also, and then we had Dalton Gatlin, and there was another lefty I thought I saw today.
Yeah, Dalton was here.
Yeah, who was the other one? I thought there were four of them. Oh, Bo Uvero.
That's right. Jose. Yep. Jose was here.
Looks like the Vikings are going to pull out a win here. Up by 10 with 20 seconds to go. That's about as dead a 10 I left all day long.
Yeah.
Nice tournament from Matt.
It was good to see him again in the step ladder.
With a chance to win.
Yeah, disappointing he, couldn't get any further, obviously, for him and that. It's been a stretch, but it is still a very good tournament.
Oh, so...
And we mentioned it, and he does leave a split.
Yeah, right.
Right afterwards,
Brent says that when Josh looked at this pattern, he called it a modified house shot. Well, he made it look like it was modified. He led qualifying, and he's looking really good right now. So what do we have here? 256 to 194. 5 and 6, Josh. 5 and 6. We go back and forth. 2 shots on each lane. 256, 194.
Oh.
Yes, there's room for the newest Hall of Famer in the booth with us. So you got questions for him, painful questions. You feel free to ask, Brent. And you could say how much beer do you want to bring tomorrow night to Medina? That'd be a question. I'll get the camera moved over here to 5 and 6, and then they take their couple of practice shots, and Chad will get the choice if he wants to start the match or have the ball in hand to finish. And my guess is he's gonna want to have the ball in hand to have a chance to win at the end. Drinking Chicago dry of beer. That's hard to do, man. Because Chicago's a pretty big city. But I'm sure I'm sure you did your best. I would expect nothing less. Well, Josh taking a practice shot with the resin ball, and that hooked a lot. And I don't know if he's, my guess is he's not going to use that. All right, truck full of beer. Nice. So Chad took out the ever popular IQ Tour.
Which one?
Let me think.
Newer or old? I'm going to say old.
That's what I was going to say myself too, whatever. But
He pulled the old one out, like, I don't know, game 2 and told me how he was throwing the old one.
yeah, okay.
So I think he's probably been in it for a while.
Well, he threw a couple of shadow balls, at least one shadow ball with a different ball, and then he changed to this one. And then Josh tried one with a reactive ball, and it hooked cross lane. So I think he put that away, and I'm pretty sure nobody's going to mess up Josh's shot but himself. So with that urethane, and nobody's going to mess up Brandon Hanson's shot but himself. I'd
Correct.
have to bet. Well, I'm getting ahead of myself, thinking that Josh is going to.
Woo! Thank you.
Josh is going to have another 230 or 40 in his game here, so Chad's going to have to do that to win.
Let's definitely keep in mind too, right? This pair has not been pretty.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't pretty during the 6-person match, although Brandon had a look.
Right.
But outside of that, like Davey, he had a bad.
Right.
Fortunate to get through a match and then back on it. It doesn't seem to be as nice.
But if Josh is going to carry those light ones like
Yeah,
that and then get the high flush ones.
Yep.
And
If
so-
you can get your urethane to keep continuing to go
Yes.
through the pins that way, it's going to be a good look for you.
He's been doing it.
Yep.
So that's urethane, but which one is it?
Pretty sure it has green letters on it.
Which would make it
That would be a pitch black, but
okay.
I can't tell if it's all black. Then maybe a black hammer. He's not totally brand specific.
Even
He's
though he
not
has-
on staff, and
No.
he wears a lot of Storm stuff, but he.
Wonder if that's why he tried that other resin ball one time on the left lane, because he maybe thought that left lane could be hooked a little more for him. I don't know. But that started up a lot sooner.
Mm-hmm.
He might have got it in.
That was green. I couldn't see that. I couldn't get a good look at the logo, but it looked like it.
Yeah, I think it's green. I'm pretty sure that's a pitch black. There's a good spare. Come all the way back.
There's a lot of pins that fly out here.
Yeah, it's we talked about it early
Yep.
on. The twister pins, there's some pluses, there's some minuses.
Well, it keeps people on their toes that work here.
Well, that's a plus.
Yeah, because they're not just sitting back there looking at their phones. I wondered why Matt Meyer didn't go down and get all of his. He knocked out himself.
Right?
I mean, he works here, doesn't he? Oh,
Well,
he's
he's-
bowling, though.
Yeah, I was going to say I would believe he has his ownership shares in that, and but he doesn't actually work here anymore.
Okay.
Oh, little high flush
I
nine
left
for
one of those
Chad.
today, and I missed the $1 million nine.
No,
Yeah. Right after 3 dead tens, they leave a 9. See, it's just not fair. How do you do that?
I had solid focus in league the other night and missed a 5-pin, so I wouldn't shoot it. I wouldn't shoot at a 5-pin for $1 million. I understand that
Oh,
now.
that's why the 9
right.
pin is
I
the
understand
$1 million.
that now. All right, he keeps from fouling.
The jerseys.
Oh yeah.
You want me to like?
Back to back 9 pins. Now, if he had 15 pounds, he wouldn't have done that. Back to back solid 9s, Jason.
That's just ugly.
Exactly.
That's too bad. Well, we'll see if it hurts him or not here. If Josh strikes, well, you can't even say that so much because of how the game could come down the stretch. And those 2 9-pins, those are spares that really suck.
And the
Wow.
pin by these young guys. It's not fair how they do that.
That's the second messenger 4-pin for Josh in the step ladder so far, isn't it? Didn't he have one on the left lane?
Oh, when he bolted the 6 on there.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not in the step ladder, but in the elimination round. Yeah. Man, you just don't see a lot of messenger 4s. And unless you're left-handed, the head pin's coming across that
Exactly.
way.
It's got to be they're young revs these guys have. All right, so that's the second one in a row on that lane that's hooked up like that. So
Yep. There you go. Good spare.
no chop.
Yep, good spare. Well, do you make an adjustment? I think Chad
Yeah.
is. He's going to probably make either a release speed or target.
Something. after
He'll
those 2 nines.
change something. That looked like a little move in.
It looked like it.
Yep.
So force
Good
solid
shot.
in the pocket. He's only got 2
Two strikes.
And I was thinking that was good when I left 2 10-pins in a strike. I called it a turkey.
Well, it was. 3 hit the pocket in a
Yeah,
row.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not my fault they didn't fall. Except that if I had 1 less pound of my bowling ball, maybe the ball would have hit the 10. I would have struck.
Ooh.
When my daughter was like 12, she would do it. She had 10-pound bowling ball when she was like 8. And then the ball would go into the gutter
Carry. Yeah,
in
good
front
shot.
of the 10 pin, and she'd miss it. And I'd get her a 12-pound ball, and she started to strike because the ball would hit the 10.
Yeah.
right, Chad. So he goes to the light one to make sure that he can get the pins to fly correctly, these twister pins. So advantage Chad right now because he's lined up in the pocket on both lanes where Josh is a little lost on that left lane. But he must strike on this one because this one looks like he's definitely lined up in.
Well, and
He's going to finish on the left lane, too.
You know, advantage Chad just in math because he's got the double
Right.
in Josh's Dutch. So he does have the advantage. Yeah, and that checked early, too.
It's almost like it sounded like it was hitting a thumb or the finger holes down there. I was hearing something.
My allergies just kicked in. Holy cow. And a little sneeze attack and running. So I have started a sport league at Southway on
What
Monday.
night is that?
Monday nights.
Oh, damn, I can't make it.
I know. I know. We are competing with the country club sport league.
I don't bowl there, though.
Oh, okay.
No. Well, every other Monday at Medina now with my cousins
Oh,
because it's 12 minutes from my house. That's
for
why.
sure.
But
No, you just have to bowl on hard stuff. Yeah, you can be a really bad sport.
I thought that's what the sports conditions were for, to show what kind of sport
Becoming
you are.
a bad sport.
Yeah.
So I left. We're on a 47-foot pattern and about 29 mils last week on Monday, and I left a washout. And everybody that might have seen me bowl would know I usually attack washouts from the left-hand side, going into the 1-2 pocket with my spare ball, right?
Got it.
And I push this thing right off my hand and give the, like, oh, God reaction, you know, like, this has got no chance. And the head pin went, or the ball went off the head pin and took the 10 out. I picked it up, taking the 1-2-4 down the row. And with that
the
much
ball
oil,
hit the 10.
yeah, it went right off the head pin right into the 10.
Nice.
I was like, that's the first time that's ever worked that way.
Well, nice. Now you have another
Now I know what
way
to
of
do on a
picking it up.
47-foot pattern when I
When you leave a
leave a
washout,
washout.
You know, I used to bowl in a sport league at Country Club, and we bowled 4 games. I don't know how many games
Yep,
you're bowling.
we do as well.
The thing I liked about it, well, here's what I didn't like about it as far as sport league. However you set them up, that's how they
Yeah,
play.
you didn't like that.
Yeah, that's how they played. However you set them up on your
For sure.
It's different than the singles tournament here on a sport pattern because they don't really play like that particular pattern. It might give you a place to start, but it really, depending on where everybody else bowls, you adapt to that. But the sport leagues, you can make them fairly easy compared to what you think the score should be on that.
Yeah.
Well, you can make them ugly too.
Yeah.
Well, really ugly is usually for me on a house shot.
Yeah, right.
You get way more over under on a house shot.
Big time, yeah.
Yeah. But no, I didn't bowl. First of all, I didn't like to bowl on Mondays. That was the biggest thing why I quit bowling out there. And it was kind of a long drive. And
Mondays are hard. If you bowl a tournament on the weekend,
right.
it's tough to want to go in there on a Monday. And
But my cousin asked me, we were at a family reunion in July or in August. Wanted to know if I was interested in bowling every other Monday at Medina, which was like 12 minutes from my house. And I said, yeah, but I can't bowl all of September and October because I'm gone. He, well, that's okay. You can come back in November.
oh,
that's
trip
what
that
I'm doing.
for.
Every other. So I bowled a couple
Nice.
weeks ago, and I'll bowl tomorrow. So he trips out that 4-pin there after he threw a bad one on the right lane.
We get to change patterns tomorrow, so the 2024 PBA Cheetah is waiting for us
So tell me about that.
beginning tomorrow.
Is that, what's the length of that?
35.
Who was the other one?
I believe it was the same length.
But there was a different,
27 mils last year, 32
okay.
this year. No, and I mean that's I think it's the same length, but the ratio got slightly tighter, but the mils went way
Okay.
up. Yeah,
Because the Cheetah, for me, it was good for me because I could hook it off the gutter. I
Yeah.
can't do that anymore.
yeah,
It's just different.
yeah,
Well, that took me out of it.
yeah.
But they didn't do it for me anyway.
They didn't ask you?
No. No, I don't know why they didn't.
because
All
they're
right,
rude.
so we got a little, not really, kind of a close match, but not high scoring at all. Chad's got the double.
Yeah, I mean,
Josh is clean.
Josh is still hovering at Dutch pace minus
Oh, he's only 8 pins behind.
minus a strike out of frame or out of turn.
Got to re-rack that. Josh shoot up ball so good that in the spirit he knocked a couple extra down. I believe, might have to re-rack him again, or something could be stuck up there on lane 6. We have to get that back to a full rack before Josh is going to throw in the left lane, which I think is a good thing to do. All right, so he's still using the same urethane ball in the left lane, even though he's gone high a couple of times. I know he struck last time on this one, so we'll see what he does here. Striking this 8th frame would be really good to give him an opportunity with the ball in hand to get up in the 9th and 10th and have a chance to win. It's hooking a little bit earlier off that spot. It's not getting down lane.
Got that one right early.
That's what it looked like. You got it down, got it out right early. Which I'm not sure why, knowing him, he's got plenty of hand to get the ball to hook back. Doesn't have to get it out to that dry so soon. Okay, staying clean and knock the pin out again. Every time they get a spare, a pin comes out of the back. Twister pins, they say. I was looking for our CBA president. I thought he was still here.
I'm going to bet
And
that he
so-
left. His wife was here, and
Oh,
they've
that's-
been here since Friday
Oh, okay.
because he bowled the Sun Opta.
Right.
That's another, I mean, this is off topic, or not off topic, but we already hashed it out a bit. But it's another thing that does kind of get me, too, about our regulars not being here, is there was a really good event yesterday here, too.
That they could have come up
And
and
just
bowled.
like at Southway, when we had the Southway Open on Saturday, and then the CBA on Sunday, we still had, just average entries
Yeah,
at best.
right.
And we gave them 2 days, to come to town
And bowl.
and be able to bowl, and both events,
Right.
both months,
Two tournaments in the same weekend.
and we still just can't get it.
No, I do understand if the reason is people can't afford it, because I do
Sure,
understand
sure,
the
sure.
money.
Yep.
If that's the reason, or I guess it depends on where you are with your, wife, kids, whatever. You have kids at home, they got to bring them somewhere. You can only have 1 day off on a weekend.
Can't be gone both days.
Can't be gone, boys. So somebody, if they have an excuse, I don't want to say an excuse. If they have a reason why they don't want to bowl, that's their reason. That's just totally fine. We just kind of wonder why they're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Steiner. When Mark Steiner would always help me run the CBAs, we always talked about tournaments, and he said, you're either a bowler or you're not. So you either bowled them or you didn't, no matter what the reason was.
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't like that one either. You could tell just like laboring down there. So we got a still a 10-pin match. Nine pins. So Josh has the ball in hand, can
Yeah.
go up there and shut him out with 4 strikes.
He can do it. Yep.
And with I know Chad's having some not good carry right now, whatever. But I'll tell you this: you don't want to give Chad a chance with the ball in hand to win. So if there's any way possible that he can strike out,
Josh needs to do it.
He needs to do it, exactly. That's like you never want to give Walter Ray an opportunity to beat you because he will and did.
9 out of 10 will.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That got early out there, too.
Yep.
It looked like it from here. I'm off to the side.
Oh, that might roll. No.
Well, if you didn't get that one, which is really okay, but now you got to throw a double in the 10th to put some pressure back on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his bad lane.
Yeah.
The left lane has been his bad lane, too, yeah. It's like he didn't look comfortable on this pair at all. And he was totally locked in on the left lane.
I can relate.
Yeah. Did we bowl on that pair, Davey, in qualifying? Did I have one of my...
I had a decent game in qualifying on it.
Did I have one of my 160s on that pair?
Well, I don't know for sure, but I'd say probably.
Yeah, probably.
Did you have 8 160s?
Seemed like it.
I mean, then probably.
I should look at my score. Let me tell you how many 160s I had today. Oh, I started out with 170, so that was good. Then I went 160.
Overachiever.
Then I only had 3 160s.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, I know it.
So Josh is going to max at 206. Chad is 216. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. You can
No
just see
messenger
that.
four
Yeah.
there.
Nope. That picked up just a little bit
It doesn't,
too early.
It doesn't have that same ball reaction that he had on lane 3 and 4.
Corby, you're a couple shots ago. If you get right early, you just go.
Yep.
Well, he's got to pick this up and strike because you never know when Chad's going to leave. Washout, 4-9, whatever.
It's gone almost 2-8-10 back.
There's that too. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't expect Chad to do that.
Put any money in.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect Chad to do that at all. But
Ooh.
you never know what can happen. Make him earn it. Who said that way back?
It sounds like an Ernie Schlegel line. It probably wasn't.
No,
but,
it wasn't him. It wasn't that long ago.
But it sounds
Make
like
him
something
earn
he'd
it.
say.
Who said that? Who's the guy who said that? I like the one that Pete Weber said. He ain't getting his first one against me. No way. It's all for show on TV.
Well, there's a ball change in case he gets a chance, but
Oh. That could come back down.
I was just going to say, I don't know I'd give up any pin. Right. That's. If you could hear Dave Ullman in the background here go, now 9 miss
I misses a tie.
is a win.
Oh, yeah, 93, right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, this is going to be in the pocket. Then you're going to pick up a spare. Throw your best shot, leave it dead
Yeah.
end, pick it up, and then you got it. Or you don't gotta
Actually,
pick it up.
he doesn't even need to
So
pick
he
it
does
up if he
leave it
leads a
dead
10-10.
Or-
There it is.
Oh.
She's over.
Obviously tried to shape that one because of the light.
Right.
See, now, the George Peterson theory is move in and throw the high hard one and get 9. I guess Chad's theory is throw it shitty and get 9, but the same thing.
The only thing I don't like about that moving way in and throwing the high hard one, whatever, you throw your plastic ball in the middle and you miss it at all in the middle, and you could whip the head.
This is the old days, Davey. You didn't miss right. You just threw it hard and just held pocket. And
I'm just saying.
yeah, I know.
I'm just saying, if you're throwing it straight, I mean, it comes out your hand, whatever. You ain't guaranteed.
All right, so
I've left a few 5.7s throwing it pretty straight at the
205
pocket.
to 193.
Right? Yeah. Yep.
Chad would be moving on. Good tournament by Josh, the leading qualifier. And Did win one match in there, so good.
Is that 204 you said?
205, 204, 204,
204.
204, 193.
I left my glasses over at the check-in table. I can't see
I did
anything
say
up there.
205 because I was going by what I thought he struck. So we'll move over to 3 and 4. Chad Nelson will move on to face Matt Meyer.
Matt Meyer.
Who's looking to win his first tournament since, I'm going to give you these stats as soon as I look it up. Matt has won here at Garden Center. We talked about that in 2006. And then he won River City Extreme in Monticello in May of 08. And then he won a U.S. Open qualifier in 2012 at AMF Maplewood Bowl. So, Matt Meyer's last CBA title was 12 years ago, almost to the day. But he also doesn't bowl that many of them. So.
Yeah, I was going to say it. There's probably been a handful of years over that time where he's had enough to make year-end qualifying,
not many
even
either, right?
You know, he bowls a team challenge, obviously, with the team and has. Yep, 2 on each. You'll
Yes.
get the choice, Matt.
He says, I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll drop back 9 and punt, please.
Yeah, these guys are both be running shots out and slapping them off.
Fun.
He had said first round of 2-game matches that 3 and 4 was hooked as much as he prepared for. Friction.
If that's the way he felt, he likes it too then, because he had a really good match here. Yeah, in the first match, so.
I want to get back to the painful questions. Were there only 2 of them, or were there 3 questions on that? On the,
It's a really good question.
I thought there were 3, and I can't remember what the other one was. I know it was talking about the PBA bowlers, and then also the wearing, why can't wear shorts
Wearing
all the
shorts.
time. I thought there was another one. I was kind of curious of what it was, whether it's PBA or out of the 5-state area. That kind of was the same question, I thought. So I thought there was
Again,
another one.
I think the one question came out of the other question, yeah.
Maybe that's could have been. So if we get to the championship match, or when we get to that, and if Chad is in a championship match, he's going to be right about where he was 2 months ago at your place, Jason, in St. Cloud, where he was sitting down right around 6th arrow and just rolling it out, and he shot 240, double in the 10th, whatever it was, to win that tournament. He's almost in there now with that easy roll, seems easy roll, with all the revs on it. Mm-hmm. All right, Davey Ullman, you're
Question
looking.
1 was why are shorts not
Yeah,
allowed
we talked
all
about
year?
that.
Question 2, will we bowl on a pattern shorter than 36 feet? That's
Okay.
the second question.
Then 36?
Yes. And question 3 was why are there restrictions?
Yeah,
Who was allowed
we,
to
we
play?
talked about the
1 and 3. So 2, a pattern less than 36 feet. I attempted that 2 times over the last 14 months and was told by both lane men they wouldn't put that out. At the end of the day, we're definitely at the mercy of and I shouldn't even say the mercy, we're at the, I guess, the knowledge of the center where they don't, like, if they just don't want people lofting, they feel a short pattern, people won't know enough that they should move way right with it. They'll see all the friction, they'll move way left, and the
Correct.
next thing you know, they're lofting gutters in game 2,
and they don't want to see that.
and
as
they don't want to see
proprietors.
that.
Understandable.
So 36, I think you're starting to get less than that. And the rule with 31,
It's supposed to be where you're out at 5 board.
Okay.
But-
So less than 36.
Well, 5 board.
Right? But then
But
less
then
than 36.
Well, then you're at
4,
1 or
3,
2 board, but people
2,
don't do that.
1, 0.
Right, so then you're gonna be playing out.
Yeah. I mean,
Or I mean in. Sorry, you're gonna be
correct.
moving
And-
way in then because it hooks.
and again, if you want a 31-foot pattern out, I mean, all you're saying is less than 36. Okay. Put a 31-foot pattern out, the break point's the gutter. If you're going to follow the rule of 31, that is. Right? So I guess more my point is, I don't care. I put out a 28-foot 7 mil pattern this summer for the King of the Hill. 28 feet of oil and only 7 mils. Now, you know how many people showed up because they wanted to just see what that meant?
Yeah, okay.
And you know how many people couldn't get a ball to wrinkle? Because the ball burns up at 25 feet,
Yeah, okay, there you go.
right?
You can't throw it hard enough then.
So, anyways, will we see one? I don't know, but what is the desire to make it a circus game too at times?
Right, yeah.
What is your desire? We make it hard enough in this. Honestly, at times we make this to a point where people don't maybe want to come do them because they feel they're too hard for them. And then your thought here is you'd like to make it even more of a circus game than some of the patterns get to be just a little bit jokey.
Well, when they get to be too tough, a lot of luck is in play. Where you throw the ball, you hope you carry crossover through the nose. Ooh, almost a whole chunk.
Too short, too whatever you want to think of it as. Yeah, my big bit is, what do you need a pattern less than 36 for? If
Well, I
we're
don't
going
think
to
we
force you to the gutter, we're going to force you to the gutter. And then that's just where it is.
44 feet.
And that you sure could. Absolutely, Dave. Yeah.
So Matt Paine couldn't stay around because we thought he was going to be in the booth here as the newest Hall of Famer, as Brent Newman was asking. So he has a painful question that I know you wanted to ask Matt, but he says, so how come we can't bowl with whoever we want to bowl with for qualifying? He thinks that the CBA could gain a handful of more entries each event that people could bowl with their friends. My thought on that is if I bowled with my teammates, I'd have more of an advantage of me being able to score better than if I bowl with somebody I don't know. And there are a lot of people who come in to bowl here and they don't have friends to bowl with. Then it's not fair for them because they're just coming in blind and they don't have people that they normally bowl with because they didn't show up.
I know a superstar athlete like you, Brent, has never not been picked last for something, but the kid that picked last and is on the pair by himself doesn't feel very happy usually. And that's not the only reason. That's just me being facetious a bit. But I do agree with you, Corby. I also agree with just the overall, that's the most fair way of going across the board. I'm not going to pair up with somebody I'm comfortable with. I might have to bowl with somebody I'm not comfortable with. And that mental part is part of the whole bit as well. It's
a singles tournament.
There's more to it, yeah.
And I know I like the way you do the Jason, where you have people draw a chip or whatever for their lane.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people come down here and grab a score sheet for the two. They want to bowl with their buddies. They have more fun. They're more comfortable. They bowl with their teammates.
But
whatever.
that's
It's
also
not fair.
part of a competitive advantage.
Yeah.
I'm relaxed when I'm with my friend.
Yes.
I have more fun when I'm with
Yes.
my friend. I'm uncomfortable when I'm with Chad. He outscores me. He makes me nervous. I'm uncomfortable against Matt because I don't like him, so I don't want to stand by him. I don't even want to be in the same building as. These are obviously examples. They're good friends of mine, but that is all part. If I go bowl a PBA regional, I'm not getting to bowl with my buddies. I'm bowling wherever they tell me I'm going to be put. And if all of a sudden I'm with Pete, I'm going to have to put up with everything Pete does that day, and that affects my competition throughout the day. Why should I be allowed to be super comfortable while forcing somebody else to be uncomfortable having to bowl with somebody they don't care for, like, or know?
Now, we did for a few years towards the end when I was running it, where we gave somebody, I don't know if it was $10 off their entry or $15 or $20 off their entry if they brought in a new bowler who had never bowled, and that person could bowl with them
Yes.
for that first tournament.
Yep.
Now that kind of made sense to me because
does to me
you
too.
wanted to get that first guy, have him feel comfortable.
Yeah.
That was increasing entries. You need to get, it was an attempt. And
Well, and it's to make new people feel a little more
More
welcomed and
comfortable,
comfortable.
right.
And I don't have a problem with
So
that. I'm
that we
talking
could
seasoned
do.
people shouldn't be
Right.
allowed to just be.
we could do that
comfortable.
again. We could run that by. We could have, say you bring somebody who's never bowled before, you talk them into bowling, you could get a discount, whether you get the discount or not. But they could bowl with you if you wanted to, I guess. Maybe you don't want to bowl with that guy you bring in. So that happened to me one time when I was bowling with
Carry it.
I got drawn, and
shot.
me and Sodi, whatever, and I go, oh yeah, I go, well, you're assuming I want to bowl with this guy all
Right,
the time,
right.
But obviously, it would have helped me because we've been bowling together for so long, we kind of know this.
Play
and that.
off each other. You can get
Yes.
reads off of the other person more
I
easily
tried
than
to
bowling
read
with
off
somebody I
of
don't.
Davey Olmert today, and look how I averaged. Didn't work for me, so can
I'm
I
not-
throw mine away if I do that?
I'm not sure the reads I get off of John Cryer Jr. if I draw him for crossing or his son Brandon, right? But
Yeah.
I mean, if I get to draw Matt, I bowled for years with Matt or Eric Schott or
right.
like a Chad now or whatever. Yeah.
See, but it's a good question though, Brent, because it has been
is.
brought up before. Ooh, snapping out that 10. That's
yeah.
that 16
And that was
pound
a-
stuff right there.
That was a little bigger move in too. So yeah.
So, Brent, a good question because it's been brought up before. A lot of people have mentioned it. Those are the reasons why we don't do it. We tried it. And also people were cheating and grabbing score sheets and taking the 2 and bowling with this guy or that guy. And it happened in the MSC also. And no, it used to, and we changed that also, where you just hand out the sheets right away. So people are trying to get an advantage. Probably a little more in the MSC because every game was a match play. You're bowling against the guy. So if you bowled with your buddy, you never had to bowl against him because you were on the same pair with him.
It's kind of like bowling team challenge with J-hand. I don't always want to bowl.
Exactly. Yeah, why would you want? Yeah, that's a funny thing. I'm going through all these stats. And I'm going, okay, the team challenge, last year's CBA team challenge. I got the 4 guys on there, and I go, hey, Jason, who was that 5th guy on your team?
Oh, yeah, that was
and
me.
it was you. And I,
That was me.
How come I didn't know that?
I did it.
That's right. That was right there because you're bowling against my team, my other team, and I watched it. I was right there, sitting behind Concord. But for whatever reason, I didn't have the picture at that time, I guess. Or I just thought you
Because
would
I was
know.
bowling and I didn't take it.
Well, somebody must have.
Crack staff.
Oh, yeah.
Good shot, Matty.
Okay, so here's just that high flush is settled in there. And I watched Josh Kennedy. I know he was using urethane. My ball never settled in high flush. It went through the nose, and then it was light. I couldn't figure that out. Like Davey told me, which I knew too, that I could never get the ball to read the front part of the lane. So it either went left or right off my hand right away. Like I said, I'm not bowling well, and then I'm not in bowling shape, and this was not easy. So all those 3 things made it really
Yeah,
tough.
they compounded.
And I'm sore. I got to tell you, this non-bowling for all the time, and getting older. I hate to use that or whatever, but that all comes into
Well,
play.
it makes a difference.
I got to get in bowling shape, and not just my hand or wrist or whatever, and back,
The
and
whole
knees,
body.
and the whole body. Yeah,
That's all of it.
I did join Silver Sneakers, and I have been going to the. I
You
did
got it
in
at the Y or at a school?
Lifetime Fitness.
Okay, lifetime. Nice.
And I was there for September, but then I took all of October off because I was traveling around all over. Good. Brent, you got any other questions?
Might not like the answer.
I like all these questions. I know there were more questions than Matt just talked about, or when he answered them on Facebook page. Another solid strike there by Chad on that left lane.
What happened to our scoring?
I see it up there. I don't know. 139 in the sixth with a strike up for Chad, and 108 in the fifth with a strike up in the sixth for Matt. So he could one pin match exactly if you do TV scoring. Way to go, Davey. Yeah. A little blurry, but it's there. Oh, we got that one in. Got it in. It almost held pocket. I mean, it held pocket, but almost struck. And then he broke up to 4-9. Brent, we did answer the question on these shorts. We do it in the summer, obviously, because it gets hot out. But we patterned ourselves after the PBA. We, saying the forefathers of the CBA back in 1970 when they put it all together, the first tournament being in 71. And we want to look professional. And I watched all these other tournaments, and a lot of these people, and they're wearing hats and T-shirts and shorts all the time, whatever, and they're out bowling in a tournament that's supposed to be a scratch tournament. It does not look professional, and we want this tournament to be professional looking. That's why we have collared shirts and usually dress pants. You can wear jeans, of course, but it can't be with a bunch of holes and cut up, and you can't wear sweatpants. And I guess we allow it in the summer because it's hot, but we don't want our tournament to be that way. We talked about Jerry Ernster, who was one of the first bowling coaches around here. He's from St. Paul, and he's one of the first bowling coaches who took the old VHS camera out, took videos of everybody, and he always said, you got to dress the part, you got to look good, and you bowl good. So that's obviously what we're going to do. We're not going to allow shorts other than those months in the summer. We haven't had a string pin bowling CBA tournament.
Not yet. Oh, yeah. I get to go bowl on one soon.
Where's that?
Litchfield.
I was at Park Tavern, and I got to go in the back and look at the pins back there. Oh,
Good
Chad
shot,
really
Chad.
liked that one when he half ran it out.
I don't know that Park Tavern is certified.
It's not. It's the old ones, too.
Yeah.
But I got to go in the
Litchfield
back.
is.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
We have a traveling league that I am now a part of.
is that out there by KMS schools?
It's we're out of St. Cloud, but Litchfield is the opposite
Yeah.
way of Wilmer on 12,
Yeah, right.
so towards
Yep.
the cities.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but the same distance basically. So,
So he gave them a little bit more room.
Yeah.
Left the light 7. The other one was high for the 4-9. Knocked out the 4-pin. KMS, I mentioned. We finally got the order to add on some lockers at KMS school there, Jason. They got some money in.
about time.
In where were they? What's the KMS stand for again? Kirkhoven?
Kirkhoven, Murdoch, Sunberg.
Yeah, there you go. They're putting some 3-foot-high lockers in. Get this, they want to put 3-foot-high lockers, and they want to put them, we have to anchor them a foot off the ground. I don't know why they just don't put in 4-foot-high lockers. It's cheaper.
I can tell you why. They're from Kirkhoven.
It makes no sense because we have to put these special brackets to hold up the lockers so they can clean underneath. But if we put a regular metal base underneath there, it's down to the floor, and they can put vinyl in front of it, but I'm not the architect for that, and we just do what they ask. Anyway, I had to throw in a little locker guy
Absolutely.
stuff there, or whatever. So
Well, and a little KMS stuff. I mean,
I know KMS stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, this would be huge. Not huge. This would be something that Matt absolutely has to strike, but I don't think he's got enough pins.
He's 90. Oh, he's
No.
teen. I don't even. Yeah.
It's 227
Yeah, I was gonna say
or 226.
I don't know that he needs. He needs like 1 or 2 pins only.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you said 9 out is
Oh, yeah, he
227.
needs about 5.
He's
16,
yeah,
He
he's
could-
like 5 pins an out.
He could
so.
leave one of the 2 full sodies we saw today.
Yes.
Here, look, I just showed you this photo, Jason. I had to take a picture of it.
Cole Corby, I don't think I've ever seen that before.
That was on the same pair.
Oh, my God.
Same time.
Only time I've seen that is during the full Sodi challenge.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So we're both qualifying today in about the 6th game, something like that, whatever. Davey and I are waiting to go bowl on the next pair. And these 2 guys, the full Sodi, for people who don't know, you leave the 3, 6, 9, 10 along with the 4, 7.
Yep.
And so that's 4, obviously. And so Tristan Clymer left it, and then Ron Kish. Kish left it first, and Clymer left it.
Tristan went over on the other blade next
So, on the same pair. So I'm going to tell you the story.
That's a winner.
I'm going to tell you the story again now about the full Sodi, because people, now they brought it up, got to know how it came about. Way back in about 1986 or 7, 8, we're on there. We bowled a tournament at Minnehaha Lanes in the urethane days, because that's all it was out there. But right after you get out of plastic and rubber, Scott Sodergren had the front 11, and he left. He got 4 for 294.
Not his fault.
And he was laughing out there. So then the other part of that story is we're bowling up at Wyoming at Pins, whatever it's called up there, Stars and Strikes,
yeah.
the city tournament. And Sodi and I are bowling on a pair with Chad Nelson and Dan Bach in the St. Paul City doubles tournament, or the city tournament. We happen to be paired up with them because the odd one's out. And Dan Bach, she was 294. I've seen it twice. I've been on the same pair both times. I've never seen it any
pretty
other
good,
time.
yeah.
But I've been there both times. So 218 to 238. Chad Nelson moves on again. Going to have a chance to win back-to-back singles.
Did we not talk about him liking to run the ladder?
Yeah, I know it. He just bowled
Right.
one less game because he's getting older. So
Yeah.
he didn't bowl 4 games in a step ladder. He's only going to bowl 3.
But he sure likes to not be the guy that sits for an hour
exactly
and a half
Right.
and waits for
So
one match, you know.
So we're going to go over to 5 and 6, and we're going to have a guy going for his 42nd title against a guy going for his first.
I mean, it sounds fair.
Who's got the advantage?
the lefty.
It sounds fair on paper.
Yes, exactly. Look at that. There's a picture of me bowling.
And you struck.
One of my 12.
Somebody got your good frame.
I don't know why that just showed up when I turned it back on. So as the bowlers are taking their 2 practice shots on each lane, and Brandon didn't really bowl a lot, I don't think, down there in the practice pair. I know he bowled a little bit, but just enough to stay loose, of course. It'll be interesting. I'm thinking he's going to let Chad start the match because I think he's going to want to, get the match over with first.
I think in his position, I'd probably do the same.
Everybody's got a hero. Brady's got Chad as a hero. Carl's got, we got the wrong Brady. Come on, Carl. You sure you don't mean Brady Stearns on being your hero? Chad should know this pair because he's bowled on it a couple times, but this pair is not as forgiving as 3 and 4. Isn't that right, Davey?
Yes.
5 and 6 a little bit tougher than 3 and 4. Not as forgiving for the right-handers. We don't know about the lefty.
Hold on 3 and 4.
And if he carries 7-10s like that, I would put some money on Brandon. And we didn't check. He was going to check and see if they were both in the bet you win. Do you know if Brandon's in?
Obviously, I know Chad is.
Brandon's in the bet you win. Hey, thanks, Jim. I'm glad I'm a hero of somebody's. I can always count on you. He's starting. All right. Brandy decided to start the match, and I don't know if he's starting because Chad doesn't like the left lane to finish on, or if he just wanted to start the match.
Well, the previous match.
Oh, and then he throws the first one.
Match against Josh, the right name was Chad.
Okay. He is okay. Thanks. Well, both bowlers are in the bet you'll win. And I'm assuming they're going to.
I didn't realize Brandon was okay.
He wanted to start. He wanted to start the match, and nerves are a funny thing.
That's interesting
Yeah.
too. I also didn't realize he was in the bet you win.
Yeah.
I didn't think he would have been.
Chad just come up to me and said, Brandon must have been paying attention because. All right, good spare. Okay, got that out of his system there. With nothing hurt.
It's like a solid seven.
Anyway, Chad comes up and says, "Hey, Brandon must have been paying attention because he knows I don't like that left lane." Either that, or he just wanted to start the match.
Right.
Or, we've talked about this before. A lot of different things go into your thought process. Okay, I like the left lane better.
Yep.
I want the ball in my hand. I want to force the guy to strike, or whatever it is. But
My thought process is I want to finish first because
Yes.
I want to put the pressure on the guy.
Davey, I agree with you. You want to finish first. You want to put the pressure on the other guy because even Jason Belmonte said this one time, no matter what, you throw it different. And if he says you throw it differently, everybody does.
And you know, yep.
They're not throwing it different. They're lying.
They are lying if they say that because you do. Now, it doesn't mean you don't throw it good or whatever, but there's something that's different. Are we having one more? Would you go?
Yep.
I can count on you. I only got an hour and 45-minute drive home. And it'll be good because I'll be
I
getting
got an hour ride.
Yeah, I'll be getting through Rogers when it's not so late or dark. Because going through Rogers, there's been so many accidents in that area coming back. And, it's still deer hunting season. People come from out of town or even just up at their cabins, closing them up or whatever. That 94 gets to be pretty treacherous at times. The weather's good, so I don't have to worry about that.
When we first bought our camper and we spent a lot of weekends, I should say, like up in the Brainerd area, because we were just traveling from a campground to a campground kind of every weekend, checking out a lot of places. Yeah, that ride back on Sunday always was terrible. You got there in the 4 o'clock or after range, and it was ugly. Oh,
The Messenger 6.
not his fault.
No. Okay, so I really haven't watched Brandon bowl all that much, and especially not today because we were on his pair for one game, and I believe he's using your thing.
Yep, that's purple.
Yeah,
Purple pearl.
Okay, and he was earlier too. Whatever, obviously.
All day, I believe.
It's funny where Jason Cragen used the dullest stuff that he had,
Yeah,
and they both made the cut. So.
Well, and it reacts the same though too,
As you were
because
saying.
that resin burns up like that at 500
Yeah.
grit
Yeah.
at 40 feet or 30 feet.
Yep.
Anyways, yeah.
All right. He's kind of got like 3 strikes in a row, but it only counts as a spare. To
It
double.
does. It does.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's still a 290 max, no
Yeah,
matter
so
how you
no
look
matter how
at
you
it.
look at it, yeah. But obviously, first one, there had to be some nerves in there. And I know whether he dropped the ball, whatever, but he's over that. You can see now he's a bowler. He knows what to do. We all know how to bowl. It's just a matter of executing.
Usually it's just getting your head out of the way.
There is that. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, he does not get the 9 to go.
Another one. Brent Newman. Brandon with shiny purple. LFG, he says. So Chad
let
says
Francis go.
Yeah, let Francis go. Yeah.
Let Ferdinand gallop. I don't.
Keep thinking.
Okay, I'll work on it. I'll work on it.
Come up with something better than that. That sounds like the bartender at Rush Creek golf course.
Yeah.
His name is El Fago. Something like that. LFG. El Fago.
That is. Yeah, that is.
Something like that. That's his name, honest to God. So for Chad, somebody who doesn't again.
Back to back on.
I was going to say somebody who doesn't like the left lane. I was going to say just struck twice on there, but he didn't, obviously. So he's got 4 shots in the pocket. And what to show for it? Spare strike, spare, spare. He's all ticked off. You can just tell. He slammed his. Oh, no.
You know, it's better than to kick these ball returns because they'll break a toe.
Yeah, exactly.
These things are, I love them.
They're like solid.
Yep. I would love to have these made for us as well. I love the design, the graphic cut in on the side.
It's really cool, isn't it?
Yep, they're very custom. I've gotten the name from these guys, so I know we can get it done. But Chad Meyer talked to me about it, and he said when they were done, one of the first things he did, the guy came in with a prototype.
Oh no.
Oh, boy.
Split. That's what he did not.
Yep.
You needed to leave something to pick up, and that's obviously not, but get 2 pins here.
And in my belief, that's what Brandon's got to watch out for here. The nerves causing the open. It's one thing if you pinch it a little and leave a 7-pin, but if the nerves catch up and it means split washout, that's a different story. And
then
count.
Throw it away.
And count.
2 pins there. You didn't do it on purpose, but it just,
but it's part of the overall factor of it.
So
anyways, Chad got him put in, and he said the guy was still here. And one of the first things he did when he got it put into place was haul off and kick it as hard as he could. And the guy felt pretty offended, It was like, what the heck you doing, and that. And he's like, there are guys that are twice my size that are going to do this exact same thing. And he goes, I wanted to see
what would happen.
How. And he goes, it hurts.
Okay.
So
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fortunate there. I mean, it could have tripped that 4, but that could have also been a 4-10, 4-6.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's a good 9.
Like I said, I haven't watched him bowl enough to know much about him as far as he's starting too quick or as he goes too fast or anything. I really don't know. Throws the ball really well. I know that. And he wouldn't be in this position if he didn't bowl well today. So you just got to think back. This is just a game. Mm-hmm. Same game. It just happens to be for a title, but it's just bowling.
It just means a lot more than it ever has for you before.
We can certainly, sitting back here, we can say all we want.
For sure.
But we've all been in that position where you just get to, and sometimes you need nerves to throw the ball better.
You do.
Years ago, if you're not excited and nervous, you're not ready to bowl. People have told me that, and I understand that too, because then you're thinking better, you're focused more. Instead of just, I got this easy, just lackadaisical. Yeah, you'll throw it lackadaisical then too.
Get there. Oh no, Chad.
So is that anything to do with the back-to-back solid 9s?
Yeah, maybe a move. It looks more like he's thinking he fanned it, just didn't. looking at his hand like he
Yeah.
didn't catch it.
Bad pin count, too, on the double.
Oh, yeah.
Or no, he didn't have a double. Never mind. It was a double 9 pins.
Oh,
Jeez, it was a spare. So 1 pin.
it's still bad count on a spare,
pin,
though.
yeah.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Just what Davey said.
1 pin match, though. Okay, 82 in the 5th to 73 in the 4th. So we got a 10 pin match. Yeah.
Yeah.
For those of you who didn't really know, the Vikings did win today, by the way.
8-2.
Unbelievable. And they were expected to lose like their first 6 games or something or whatever.
We were prognosticated to be last in the division.
Yeah.
8-8, weren't we?
Yeah, at best.
If at best. Oh, yeah, at best, yeah.
Well, we got the first number.
A few people have been asking me today about my Twins, of what's going to happen. And so I'm very curious myself, but I don't think they're going to do anything because they have...
Get there.
They have, on what they say is just limited money to spend. And they're already at that payroll, even if everybody just signed. So they're doing nothing more. I know they're for sale. Nothing's going to happen until they sell it. We have our holiday party coming up for season ticket holders, December 12th. And that's for Falvey and Dave St. Peter, and those guys get up and say the state of the team, whatever, and tell us what we want to hear. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen. But they're going to be so-so next year.
Mm-hmm.
So the Twins got 3 years ago, they got $54 million in TV money. 2 years ago, they got like 40, we think, but we don't really know what they got because they don't say it. And then this last year, that was a good shot.
Yep.
He needed that. Good carry, I should say. That was a little bit light. And last year they got, we don't even know, it could have been $30 million. Well, this next year they're going to be sponsored by, or not sponsored, they're going to have streaming by MLB. Mm-hmm. They're only guaranteed like 10, 12, 15 million. They got to work on that. It's going to get better down the road. Do you know what the Dodgers get in TV money per year? $334 million. What do the Yankees get? About the same. The Mets get about the same. It's not a fair fight.
No, it's not.
All right. That was enough of my Twin stuff. Oh, that was really good.
Yeah, there's the deal. I didn't think that was going to finish enough to
And
get
it
through them.
snapped that 7 out.
It got through them great.
Okay, well, that puts some
I was waiting
pressure
for that
back
urethane
on.
to just not finish the job, and it did.
93, and then he's got 11 pin. He's got a 21 pin lead right now. Wow. And he's going to have the ball in his hand in the 10th frame to spare or strike or not need it.
Winner, yeah, win or lose it all.
Yes. What did he leave last time on that lane?
That was the washout.
That was that 5-count washout.
Yep.
So
I
he
heard
missed them
him.
both, all right?
He came back here and told me that he's trying to be so soft
Yeah.
off the 9 pin that he just totally fanned on it.
Yeah.
So psychologically, did the 9 pins affect his release?
Yeah, well, it changed his release.
Yeah.
And then he didn't execute
He made a move to
Yeah.
make
to
it
not leave the
different.
2 9s.
to get it to not come off the spot so hard.
He should have used a 15-pound ball instead of 16. So,
You should tell him.
well, don't use 14 because you leave 9 pins too. All right, good spare though. $24-pin lead. 7th frame. Not insurmountable, but I think he needs to strike. He needs to have a chance to get up in a ninth frame,
he needs
9th, 10th, and double or turkey or whatever, put some pressure back on Brandon, but
caught that one better. Yeah. Too good. Yeah, too good. Yeah. Yeah. He laid
Now
off.
it's 27 pin. By getting these 7 counts, it's not helping his.
No.
So if Brandon goes up there and strikes in that 9th frame, or 8th frame, I should say, that's going to relax him a lot. But no matter what he has to do is fill the 9th.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could have chopped easily. Last time here he carried a light one, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
He threw it good.
The one I didn't think would even finish and get there, but did, yeah. Ooh, that's what I expected out of the last one.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. It was going to be that little half 10.
And that's okay. As long as he picks up the spare.
Yeah.
Stay clean. .196 max for Chad. So he's going at a 202 pace. All he has to do. The only problem I see is he's going to be sitting on the bench and needing something.
Needing help.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
saying when he gets up in the 10th frame, he's going to need to do something. It's almost better to finish first, like Davey Ullman was saying. Put the pressure on that guy and get that done first. But
For sure.
unless he really, really likes the right lane better, or he really thought Chad did not like the left lane better. He absolutely has to mark this frame one way or
That
another.
looked left. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah. He obviously knows what he has in front of him, but boy. Yeah.
Like I said, he obviously has to mark, and the best mark in the world is a strike.
Yep. I honestly didn't think that was going to touch the head pin much. Wouldn't have been surprised to see a washout or
So,
something there, but that's he knows what he's got in front of him.
If Chad doesn't get to 190, Brandon wins for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, somebody's cheering for him before he threw the ball.
Oh.
You think Chad's had any second place finishes in a CBA before?
43?
Yeah.
I was guessing.
I don't really know that answer, by the way, but just
A
think,
lot.
say it's 45. That means he's in a championship match 80, almost 90 times
90 pint, yeah.
in a championship match.
Yep.
Well, he is, because people bowl bad against him.
Well, he seems to sneak his way through a lot.
Somebody said that. Tim McCarver said that about Bob Gibson. The only time he pitches, the other team just forgets how to hit.
That was hurt because they were terrified.
Absolutely, they were terrified.
Back in the day when you could throw in somebody's head, nobody said nothing.
Don Drysdale. Would you probably throw against your old grandma? Well, if she was crowding the plate, yes, I would. You can't do that nowadays.
Oh, you just can't knock out that 10.
Mathematically, guys, I think it's over. And
We've got a new-
Brandon Hanson.
We got a new banner coming.
Yeah.
Another new banner next year.
Man, he's the leader in that 40 age or 30, whatever age bracket he's in.
39 and under?
39 and under. He's because he was him and Anthony Stewart.
I think it's too strong. He's going to switch to it just to see if you kick his ass all the way home.
Actually, Anthony Stewart's going to be ahead of him in the 39 and under bracket because they're the only two. Brendan and Anthony Stewart, because you got to bowl all three of them to have a chance to win. So that means 19, 14, that's 5, 3. Anthony Stewart will be 3 points ahead of Brandon. but Chad's still ahead in the 50 over.
Oh, yeah.
I could win the 16 over because Clark's not here.
Yeah.
I'm the only one left in the 16 over. If I was to have that, if I would have had that bracket.
Well, you chose not to.
I know.
What were you thinking?
I wasn't thinking.
You could have put your own money in your own pocket.
I could have.
It's the second funnest thing to do.
Brent, he
Funnest.
actually is not. We just discussing that. He's not the Bowl of a Decade leader because in the 39 and under, there were only 2 people that bowled today in that bracket. Anthony Stewart had 19 points and Brandon had 14 points. So now the way it's going to work is Brandon's going to get 25, Anthony's going to get 23. So Anthony's going to be ahead by 3 points going into the last one.
Chad's got me by 4.
And I would be leading into 16 over, but I didn't do it. I didn't have one. I might change that now. Just for the heck of it.
I'd change it immediately.
I'd give myself $250 easily.
Should have made him work harder.
All right, our champion,
yeah.
Brandon Hanson, winning his first ever CBA title. Good to see you up here at Garden Center.
Congratulations, Brandon. Always good to have a new banner being made. That's always a cool thing here. So
Yes.
we will get that underway for him. I'll send the email off and that. He was in the Bet You Win. I didn't hear of any chopping, splitting, but
They'll tell you.
you'll see it on the prize list when I post it online and that kind of thing. So, anyways, great tournament, Brandon. Congratulations, your first title. Chad, congratulations on your 79th second. You're
Yeah, we're not sure how many.
closing in on that 100 mark. Yeah. December 8th, CBA Masters at Southtown. That's our next event. For those of you that are interested, the 5th, or a part of the quintuple, the 5 tournament series from Briley Howe and Al Houston, and that is next weekend, the Lacrosse Open.
Oh, yeah.
Down in Lacrosse next Saturday. So maybe we'll see some of you there. I am going to be live streaming from down there for the, at least the elimination matches after the qualifying is done.
Really?
We'll see how well I bowl. We'll see how well things like that go. But we'll have it set up for sure for the elimination matches down there on next Saturday on the CBA page. Otherwise, yeah, December 8th is the next one for us at Southtown, CBA Masters.
I'll have to think if I want to go down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are we supposed to be classy?
I think we can be anything we want. I'm going to bowl A squad as normal and then grab some lunch, start setting up. The good news for anybody this year is we're here this week, which means we don't have to get back for a CBA on Sunday like we always used to.
Have
So
to back for an MSC on Sunday if you wanted to bowl the MSC.
I think I'll take my bride to Lacrosse with me like we talked about, and
I might,
we'll just sleep in on that Sunday. Yeah, why would I?
Bowling an MSC now.
Wait, would this be my rookie year? Since
No,
them
you
two that
bowled,
I...
the first one you bowled, you made the ladder.
Yeah, but that wasn't an
Oh,
MSC.
that was the full MSC.
That's what I'm asking.
Yes, it would be then.
My rookie year still alive? Maybe I'll show up.
Nah.
Everybody
By the way, there's no chop because Brandon was only in for $10.
Oh.
Chad was in for 30.
All right, good to know. So those at home, no chop there. We had different dollar amounts in, so they...
okay.
So Brandon was only in for 10.
So he
And
gets,
so with the winning, he'll get all 20% then of that. Wait, 10, 20, and 50. 20, 30, 50.
20, 30, 50.
Percents, 20,
Percents,
30, 50.
correct.
So he'll get the 20%.
Correct.
Of what was
the
in
whole
there.
pot.
Yep, of the whole pot.
So
Yep.
as far as all you people in the who are always getting to Bet You Win, you wanted Brandon to win because now there's
Yep.
more money carryover
Yep.
for the next tournament.
For sure. All right, everyone at home, thanks for watching. Appreciate it all. We had some good live streaming today. There wasn't a lot of commentary, but we got this hooked up early. We had, like, from game 3 on of qualifying as well, which we usually don't have time for. So
Right.
hopefully you were able to watch a lot of good bowling today, and we'll see you next month.
Have another good tournament, Jason. Thanks again.
Thank you.